Machiavelli production.
Little Chad, Slender Dad, they the tightest of kin. Friday night streaming, where the realness begin. Dive deep in pop culture, from flicks to the game. You too, we ride, never following the same. Brahma Bull, bourbon in hand, laughter on deck. He the king of the chuckle, every step with respect. Mad Chismo, cool like the breeze, edge on display. YouTube legend rising with a style that'll slay. Ascendant art, let's commence. Laughter and knowledge, ignorance will dispense. Pop some popcorn, settle down, show's about to start. Find a stream, you'll see on your screen, play your part. Brahma Bull swirling wisdom, cup in his grip. Little Chad with insights, he never slipped. Mad Chismo spitting facts like a flame in the dark. Slender Dad's blade dance, it's an art with a spark. His sword never tires, it's a sight to behold. Mix of skill and humor, stories never told. Brahma Bull bourbon like a sage sitting high. Mad Chismo wisdom spreading, reaching for the sky. Both in demand fans blowing like the breeze, vibing together like a band with ease. Little Chad, the king of all movie talk. Slender Dad's blade, chat's where we walk. Action, laughter, sticking like glue. Pop culture popping with a vibe that's true. Painting pictures vivid. Every episode we share, streaming culture symphony. None can compare. Ascendant art, let's commence. Laughter and knowledge, ignorance will dispense. Pop some popcorn, settle down, show's about to start. Find a stream, you'll see on your screen, play your part. Oh, and there's a guy called Imp.
It's perfect.
Never gets old.
To us.
Well, look, that's what we're doing this for. It's all right. There's only one baller over here on this chat that's monetized, and it's not me or Slender or Imp. So,
I would say, yeah, I'm not even close to it.
yeah, so, although I think 70s is monetized, and if he pops in, then it would be another person, but otherwise,
All the balds.
all the balds. Oh, well, welcome to another fun hangout here at the Ascendant Art Podcast, episode 153, continuing our annual yearly either review or, in this case, perspective look at things coming up in 2025. It's not at all because it's the end of the year. It's slow entertainment news week, and we're too lazy to do other things to try to make it entertaining.
I did a fair bit of research for my segment.
That's true. That's true. And poor Brahma, who's now back to doing shows every single night, from what I can see on YouTube.
Just when he thought he was out, they pulled him back in.
Shags is brought back.
Be there on Wednesday.
I was about to say Shags brought back the midweek hump. It looked like, right? Is that his?
Yeah, we're rebooting it, and I am technically going to be one of the perma panelists if I choose to show up. But there's no requirement to show up on any given.
That's so Hollywood.
Sure.
That show ended like 4 months ago, and it's already rebooting.
I got something for you, Brahma.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Well, I get to hang out with a slightly different crowd over there because it'll be Shags, Quarter Black, Flawed, a few others, like people that were there Friday or Wednesday. So
yeah,
spread my
that show goes long though. That's a long show.
Yeah, the week before we went 5.5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we don't plan on doing that.
We do long shows around here, but we don't go that long. I mean, that's a little.
I won't let us go that long.
Slender would have killed the show.
You should have seen the old cocktail lounges with Foul Ball.
Yeah.
It would go 7 or 8 hours. And that was
seven or 8 hours
designed to be drinking. So 7 or 8 hours, it got pretty ugly at the end of the night.
Man, by the end, you must have looked like a certain lawyer from Minnesota.
Never that bad.
No, I was part of most of those, and I was one of the very few sober people there. Brahma was not that bad.
Well,
I
that's
just
good.
tend to get loud and slightly slurry. But that's also I start slurring when I get tired too. So
Well,
I mean, it could be worse. You could get
I
really
will state
thirsty.
for the record, Brahma, you get giggly too. You start to laugh at
Sometimes.
everything.
yeah. Sometimes.
Like I said, it could be worse. You could get thirsty. Thirsty, my friends. Ooh, I want
Stay
the
thirsty, my
I want the
friends.
legion of memers to do that with Culture's face now. Stay thirsty, my friends. That would be fantastic, actually.
But Culture is not the world's most interesting man.
No, but just do the part where it's like,
you just change that to the world's most disinterested
Yes.
man.
just do a little mix.
do
where
the whole
Culture's-
commercial, but the world's most disinteresting man.
No, just do a mix where it's Culture being like, oh, there's a lady on the panel. There's a lady. There's a lady. Stay thirsty, my friends. Or we could find that clip. I could go unbury the clip where he was like berating Slender to go wake up Bride of Slender. Go wake her up.
your wife.
Go wake her up. Oh, she's sleeping in the other room. No, just go wake her up. Was that the same show where he was like, "Hey, Mad, can I text Shredder?"
It was where he was trying to put together the female panel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not married and I'm as single gets, and even I knew that was a bad idea.
All right, real quick before we get really going, let's see. We got Josh Hammond, who is perennially first. You should just take that as your name right there, just like first. We've got Bad Take Bojan, who is once again not first. I'm looking forward to whatever lore dumps we get tonight from Bad Take Bojan, because it's always an adventure. Our favorite Kiwi coming in, sup from Smokey. Davina, or as the thirsty pronunciation goes, Davinia.
Mm-hmm.
Bride of Slender, the infamous Bride of Slender, who was napping in that stream and was politely not
napping.
woken up.
She was full
or
on
sleeping.
asleep.
No, it was full on
Yeah,
sleeping.
she had gone to bed. There was no waking her up. That was
Not if we wanted to continue having Slender alive.
no, that was the right husband call right there.
Well, she's in the chat. We should ask her next time. Should we get you up?
no, because she already answered that up here with I think she said try it.
That would also be fun for the stream. Listening to you trying to get her to wake up.
listening to me die. No,
Yes.
I'd rather not.
Come on.
I think that's a
Many
violation
times.
of the user agreement or something, right?
Yep. We got Eric hanging out. We got Penny in the chat and copied Kitty. Hello.
I think our women are outnumbering our men at the moment.
Stop incepting Culture into our show. He's gonna he's gonna suddenly show up. Although I think he's still trying to get back on the right side of being under the weather. He still sounded a little rough the last couple of streams I had listened where he was on.
Dude, I've been under the weather for over a week. It hasn't stopped me yet.
There's another lady, Lily.
Lily, yep.
You know what, Slender? I'm just going to be quiet on that.
Okay, fine. So you've hit me up to play games several times, and I'm like, no, I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed.
The only one I'm not going to give you shit for was last night. You can't.
Oh yeah,
control
I didn't
your
have power. I lost power at 12:30 yesterday. Got it back at 2. Lost it again at 2:30. Didn't get it back until 9 p.m.
You know, I'm gonna actually say that Slender literally inspired me to go get a power a universal power supply for my NAS server, because I started looking up how bad things can go when one of those loses power in the middle of like trying to deal with files. So I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably finally do that. I mean, all the power lines to my subdivision are buried, unlike Mountain Man over there, but it's still something. With
But
all
it's
the
not
snow
universal power supply. It's uninterrupted power supply.
uninterrupted, whatever the U
or uninterruptible, one of the two. It's basically so you don't have a service interruption.
Yeah, it's uninterruptible based on the power load, probably for about 34 minutes, which is enough time.
They don't
What it
last
is, it's
long.
a battery. So when your power goes out, it gives you enough time to go and actually manually shut things down the proper way.
That
I don't think
the
this,
intent. The intent is not to keep running on them.
I don't think this was meant for it, but it's a good quote nonetheless. And spare no expense. Yeah, I did know I went with I did spend $15 more to get one today instead of waiting for Amazon. So, hey, Deeple's in the chat. Ahoy, Deeple.
He finally
Hello,
found the
hello.
channel.
Finally remember to look for the channel. That's great. Be sure to
Now ring
subscribe,
the
drop a
bell and
like.
sub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you subscribe, you've bought the people one more episode.
Is that how it works now?
No,
Willie,
the system that I have put in place is if our number of episodes, we only do one a week, but if our number of episodes ever exceeds our number of subscribers, we're done. That's
we
it.
nuke the channel.
And we're
It's
getting there.
game's
We're
over.
at 154.
153, and we're at
153.
309 subs at the moment. So it's,
So we-
There's
Yeah,
a few years to
that's
go.
That's a little while.
but so I would sump pump. That's definitely, depending on where you live, something you'd want maybe a battery backup available for.
And then let your
Yes.
insurance company know you have it.
You know, and honestly, if you're in a situation where you're in a spot where your sump pump is that necessary, that's when you probably ought to just look at getting a generator.
Just make
a
sure
gas
that
one.
it is above the pump.
Oh, look at that! We are Eric over here being loyal. I will donate more to keep AA if I have to. Nice.
Right now, the only donations they can accept is your time.
Yeah. And
Well, we
that's
do
all we
have-
really want is your
We have
time.
yeah. We'll find other ways. We got, once we get monetized, we got the watch hours, which is the weirdest part. Everybody else is like, I got Biggles over there who I do anime shows with now, and he's like struggling. He's just like, get me the watch hours. I was like, we've been sitting on the watch hours forever. It's just the subs, man.
See, but
Yeah,
that's-
watch hours are not our issue.
That's the funny thing, though. After I got the watch hours, I'm already at like 5,000 watch hours. So from the time that I got monetized, 2 months ago, I've doubled the watch hours over again, 1.5 times the watch hours that was needed.
I have to imagine once you get monetized, you're making money for YouTube, so they start pushing your content harder.
Well, that and the political show tends to get a little bit more views from outside of our sphere.
Probably.
Yeah, we get some trolls in there sometimes. It's good. It's fun.
Oh, I'll put the smackdown on the trolls.
Sometimes the trolls think they're asking like trolly questions, and then we get it. Especially me, I'll give like the full like analytical answer on it. Like, why didn't Trump get his conviction overturned? Well, here's the legal reason that didn't happen, and go through the whole
Copied
thing.
is here. Copied had actually made a comment on that video saying that there were some questions at the end that people might have wanted some answers to. The reason we didn't address those questions was because the person was trolling.
Yeah,
I mean, we addressed the one question, we just didn't go back and address the rest.
yeah,
Because
because
they were
the
just trying to get us to say that Trump is a felon.
yeah, the follow up questions were overtly trolly.
Mm-hmm. Plus, we were
How
past
about
time.
look at this? Eric is buying merch, mugs, Christmas, Agent Chad, thumbs up stickers. Look at that. I do actually have
been
stuff on
discussing
TeePublic.
expanding our merch offerings too. I have some ideas.
From zero
Yep.
to something.
Well, I have merch for the
No,
comic
no.
strip.
Yeah. He's got a merch store already. I've bought a few things off of it, I think.
So Deeple, this channel is basically me and Slender's channel. We're the co-hosts who've been doing this the whole time.
We are the founders.
The founders. We had one other co-host at the start. He had, because of life, moved on to doing other stuff, and then it was us, and we kind of revamped the show a little bit to kind of from there. And it's been us, I think, since about episode like in the 50s or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the short answer, but it's a good show. But Brahma, Imp, they're pretty much regulars now too. I don't think it was in our private chat, but in the event I win the $1 billion lottery, which I didn't, it's funny, I was daydreaming about what I would do with it, but didn't buy tickets because I never buy lottery tickets. Number one, always take the lump sum. Don't trust the government to come up with that money later.
Damn straight.
Because there are definitely instances, especially I'm looking at the Illinois
Looking at you,
lottery.
Chicago and Illinois.
I'm looking at you, Illinois, and Bad Take Bojan can confirm this, where the lotto winners who took the lifetime payouts instead of lump sum started getting IOUs from the state government. So yeah. So, but I was like, no, all right, all my bros, whatever, I'd figured out whatever would get them 5 million after taxes, whatever that lump sum would have to be, they'd be getting about that, because that would be, I mean, I'd have plenty at that point. And then we'd start a media LLC, and I'd have to get Slender a company car to drive the 20 so miles to come in to where the studio is.
If you won the billion, we're buying an island. Starting out.
I am not Epsteining things, Brahma.
Yeah, I don't want an island. Islands are a lot of maintenance. I like to stay away from the ocean. I mean, if we could get a
You
ship,
don't have to go to the shore.
you need big island.
Look, no, so no. You know, buying. I gotta imagine that buying an island is a lot like buying a boat. The happiest day of your life is when you buy an island, and then the second happiest day is when you sell your island.
Yes.
Because of once you discover all the maintenance fees. Oh shit! I have to actually do like reimportation of sand after a hurricane because my beach washed away because of
Dude, and
erosion.
what if you're in an island owners association and they're like, you haven't trimmed back your jungle far enough away from the shore?
You haven't
If
trimmed
you
your
want to
bush
remain,
enough.
if you want to remain a virgin island, you better trim those bushes.
Trim that bush now.
You know, I don't think it would be that far off. I think when it was if I looked at it right, depending on the state you reside in, because I think the guy who won it was in California.
California.
So after taxes, the over 1 billion lump sum turned into like 475 million.
Yes. The winners of that lottery were the federal government and the state government.
Yeah, they always are.
Yeah, boat bust out another 1,000.
Mhm.
Never. It's so in the end, once you have the money, just rent that, like rent an RV, rent a boat, rent an island. If you're that rich, don't buy. just have your fun. Rent it.
Eric, is that on the state lottery or is that on the Mega Millions and Powerball too? Because those are multiple state lotteries.
I think if it's the multi-state, they do tax it.
That's what I'm
But,
getting at. I
yeah.
think it's just the
And
California
even if they have
lottery
no-
that it's
Yeah, and even if they have no income tax on it, the federal government's still going to take its portion.
50%.
Yep.
Yeah, but I do think he's right that maybe if you're playing the one that's just the state,
Like the California
probably won't do
lottery,
it.
the
Yeah.
Colorado lottery.
but like Powerball and Mega Millions or
Mega
whatever.
Millions.
I know because like I'm in Virginia and I can buy a ticket and play that. I think it's 20 plus states are in that network.
I mean, how much is $1 billion really going to get you in California? That's like 2 years, right? You could live off $1 billion for 2 years in California.
No, I'm pretty sure that at that point you'd still be good. You'd be, because not all of California is like San Francisco. You'd probably be able to buy a little further inland and be good to
You'd
go.
have just enough
Okay,
to get
2.5.
out of California, and they'll still continue to try to tax you for 10 years.
That's true. Bride of Slender. Let's buy an island in the North Sea. I've got a great island we can buy. Its name is Greenland.
Yes.
I think Trump
You've got to help
Trump is
Trump.
interested. Yeah.
he wants
Trump.
to put a casino on Greenland.
Greenland is going to be like, we've got multiple interested buyers, Mr. President. He's like, I will not be outbid.
How many
No.
windmills are you offering?
Actually, I mean, not to, we don't, this isn't the political show, but Greenland is a really strategically valuable space for the United States in the Arctic. It makes, in the North Sea, in that whole zone, it makes complete sense to actually, because Russia, for all the Russia hype that they have for everything else, the one place Russia is expanding with no signs of slowing down is into the Arctic in the sea up there. They are dropping.
You wouldn't made it political.
Yeah,
you could have just tied it into risk, and
whatever.
Greenland has plenty of of purpose in risk.
It's the entryway to North
You've got
America.
to lock
on the
North
other
America
side.
down.
You mean like Alaska doesn't exist? We don't own that. Alaska's part of Canada. We know this.
That's what I've heard.
I will say nothing.
I
We're
mean,
also
once-
just making them the 51st state.
I do think that I'm going to have a sit down with Trump and explain to him that we should probably divide Canada into a few states.
Yeah.
But
And
Yeah.
gerrymander the crap out of them.
Exactly. Like Alaska is going to absorb a lot of basically we're going to make this one red, and we're like whatever Montreal is getting, we have to make enough of the Northwest Territory somehow into it to get those. We got to make sure there's enough rurals in there.
Bride hates your face, but you never show your face on here.
That's
Yeah, but Bride
Yeah.
knows his face.
Oh, I know she knows.
we'll make it a non-voting territory. Yeah, they can whine like
Yeah.
today. It's like why didn't
That was
why didn't
great.
Guam and Puerto Rico? And then the guy at the place was because they are non-voting territories. They're not allowed to vote. Let's move on.
I represent 4 million people in DC. Why didn't I get called on? Well, how do you not understand how this works? DC is not a state. Dumbass.
DC doesn't have DC's actually its population is only like 400,000. DC is like Manhattan, where during the day, at least prior to work from home and remote work orders, its population
I
would
didn't say
swell.
nothing. Why are you looking at me like that?
So what that means is she's too stupid to know how many people she represents, and she doesn't know the rules.
No, I think I thought she was actually. I think the one who was bitching about it was the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, not that it makes it better. You know what? If I was Trump, I'd be like, they're all worried about colonialism. Fine, you're all cut off. You're not part of. We're not a territory anymore. Go be you. Let's see how good you last without this has come up. Puerto Rico has voted on becoming a state before, and it's failed miserably
Yeah.
because they get all of the money but none of the taxes.
Go
So-
ahead, do what you want. We'll send you out there. You'll come back to deflowered islands.
So DC is 2/3 of Wyoming. I mean, not in terms of territory, but yeah. I mean, yeah, DC is a cesspool and it's a swamp. It always has been, but it's all right. Let's leave that for Sunday though. We'll
Yeah.
I was gonna say
We'll
you
get-
guys are wasting all your material for the week.
yeah. Oh no, there's
No.
still some more stuff.
There was a ton.
I mean, we got an actual speaker, which is nice. We'll talk about that. That's good. All right. But Slender's got some deep dives for 2025, starting with AA Gaming over here.
Yeah.
We got
My
Rebel Wolves
prediction
and Bandai
stands.
Namco.
Yeah, my prediction stands. I think a lot of AAA studios are going to be folding up shop in this decade, so prior to 2030. Ubisoft, chief among them, of course. But I think CD Projekt Red, they're fucked. they're totally fucked at this point. I was trying to be open-minded and optimistic about The Witcher 4, but the more I have been delving into it, the CD Projekt Red is not the studio we loved. It is not the studio that made The Witcher 3. It is not the studio that failed miserably on Cyberpunk 2077, but managed to rally and recover. All the people who made the games you love that studio made, they left. They're in this Rebel Wolves group now. And they're working on their own grimdark fantasy setting. And apparently Bandai Namco wanted in, and they're going to be doing the announcement, the announcement party with some initial trailers and I think maybe even some gameplay and such on the 13th of January. And it does not bode well for The Witcher. The Witcher 4 is the more I think about it, the more red flags I see, and the more I'm like, this thing's fucked. And Veilguard should have been a big indicator that BioWare's fucked too. They're talking about how they're focusing all their energy on the next Mass Effect. Don't worry about that. Don't bother with the next Mass Effect. The people who made the Mass Effects that you loved, they're not there anymore. They left. There are a lot of 2A studios like Rebel Wolves right now that are basically made up of all the people who made the games you did like. And it's pretty much why several of the major studios aren't making the games you like anymore. Another great example is Uncharted. That was ruined when they got rid of what is the lady's name who wrote Uncharted?
Oh, it's
Lady McLaderson.
no, she's
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her name.
Amy Hennig.
Amy Hennig. Yep.
She was responsible for the original Uncharted games. She also did Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. And Soul Eater or Soul Reaver. Sorry.
Soul Reaver.
Mixing up my anime and my video games.
Soul Reaver was an awesome
She got
game.
forced out by Neil Druckmann. And he took over and made sweeping changes to, I believe, the most recent Uncharted game, which was universally panned. Everybody.
Well,
hated
that was the one where it was his daughter, or was it his daughter?
it. I don't know.
Basically, he did the Kathleen Kennedy, put a chick in it, make her lame, make her gay.
Yep.
And then he took it to
So-
the next level with Big Abby Pump for
Yeah.
Last of Us 2.
Similar situation with Ubisoft, right? Like they've just been having so much development hell. There's been so much churn over there, and it's weird because like we're having so many layoffs over the last year in the games sphere, and it's like, yeah, but I think you're all laying off the good people, and you're keeping the shitbags.
Got to keep the DEI.
Yeah.
No, the
And
good
as a result,
people-
I think a lot of the 2A studios are going to be tomorrow's AAA studios. And current prediction, I don't think Ubisoft sees the end of the decade. I don't think BioWare sees the end of the decade. I'm actually
I
I
don't
don't know
think
that
Ubisoft sees
Bethesda-
the end of 2025 the way they're financing.
think they
not
might-
as
they might
Ubisoft.
hang
I
on.
think they'll
Yeah.
get bought
not as
out.
Ubisoft.
No, they're gonna get.
They're gonna
like,
get
I don't
sold
think
privately.
Bethesda sees the end of the decade. I'm actually okay. Here's my Hail Mary prediction. I don't think Rockstar sees the end of the decade.
no, I don't know about that.
I mean, they have printed so much money with GTA 5 that you'd think they will, but I'm not sure. I'm still not convinced that GTA 6 isn't going to show that they've gone in the same direction as everybody else and kill the franchise.
Now,
I
mean,
hope I'm
that's-
wrong, but that is the prediction I am the least confident in. But I don't know that Rockstar sees the end of 2030.
By the way,
Guerrilla and
Bethesda-
Arrowhead are both great examples of
Yeah.
AA studios.
Yeah, but Bethesda's already owned by Microsoft. so they're
Larian Studios as well.
they're already gone as far as I'm concerned. Like once Microsoft or Sony owns you, you're not your independent game developer studio anymore. You're just a part of Microsoft and Sony, and they'll slap your name on something.
Oh, I think Blizzard Activision is gone by the end of the decade too.
Blizzard Activision has already been downsized after
I know.
Microsoft bought them. I mean,
I know.
they're. I mean, when you say gone, they're already gone. They're just a nameplate on the door now. So
Like, yeah,
maybe they might still have some studio space that they had leased that they can't get rid of yet. I mean, I do think that Rockstar has a little bit of a longer lifespan only because GTA 5 made them so much money.
yeah, but I think they may have blown more of that than we realized.
Well, the
And
thing
they are spending a lot of money on GTA 6.
GTA
and
6, as long as don't forget
Red
GTA
Dead 2. It was a commercial success, but they spent a lot of money on it. I don't know how much money they actually made off of it.
Oh, I'm sure they made it wasn't a printing press like GTA 5, but they made money off of it.
No, but remember they have to maintain those servers when people are playing on them. Those cost money too.
I suppose, but I don't think Rockstar's had the last misfire, and even that still made money. I mean, was GTA 4 wasn't that well received, but it still made a shit ton of money. It just didn't. GTA 5 was the magic sauce because they unlocked the online gaming component. And I know I remember Culture did a lot of videos where he was bitter about, the DLC that they didn't do for GTA 5. I
Mhm.
was like, well, why would they? The fan base clearly was buying up all the online stuff.
Dude, they drip fed that whole, like, they probably did have an expansion. They drip fed the whole thing through the online system because
Yep.
it's more profitable to give it to you a little bit at a time than it
Small
is
chunks
to
of
sell it to you
DLC
all at
instead
once.
of one big expansion.
Yep. Naughty Dog. I think Naughty Dog is gone by 2030 as well.
Naughty Dog's already owned by Sony, so yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they're again, they have a little bit of freedom with some of the franchise that are existing, but if you look at the history of any studio once they've been absorbed by Microsoft or Sony, they work on the IP that got them bought, and once that franchise is done, they pretty much get folded.
Yeah.
As a studio that even exists. They'll just downsize the heck out of it. The only place that I've seen that where Sony has let them run for a long, long time was Sony Santa Monica, because they do MLB The Show every effing year and manage to get that game out every year. And it is universally considered the best Major League Baseball video game, to the point where it's not even exclusive. They put it out on other systems because there's nobody else makes a baseball game. So
Pretty much.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they're the only, because they have the rights to it, just like EA does with the NFL and the NHL and FIFA and
Yeah, it's the
NHL.
MLB rights.
I hate to admit this. I wish it wasn't true, but I think EA will still be around in 2030. And I hate it.
Oh, probably.
I hate it so
Um,
bad.
Ratchet and
EA
Clank
Sports,
is
It's Insomniac.
Insomniac. Yeah, which is they've been busy doing the Spider-Man games. So
Dude, Insomniac is not long for this world either if they're still around.
yeah, to Eric's point, if you do like the full simulator version of MLB The Show, it is just like real bit. You can't hit that shit. Like it's hard as I mean, if you like baseball, it is high praise. That is the game to
I mean,
play.
that's how baseball is though. Like
Yeah.
in 9 innings, it's quite possible that like 3 pitches get hit.
The greatest hitters of all time do something right 3 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
That's what when you talk about a 300 lifetime hitter, that means 3 out of 10 times they get a hit.
Yeah, that's insane.
That means 70% of the time they are not getting a hit.
Yep.
There's nothing else in sports where if you did it right 30%, you would be hailed as one of the greats. Like if you're a 3-point shooter,
It means on average they strike out twice before they hit anything.
yeah. If you're
Well,
Steph
there's also
Curry,
the possibility of a walk.
that doesn't count as an at bat, so that wouldn't count against your average. I mean, not to get into into baseball statistics. I know
Dude,
I know
the new Mass
other
Effect
people
is
here
not gonna
aren't
be
into
good.
sports ball.
Yeah. So the new Mass Effect is not going to be good. BioWare is done for. The
What was
people
the one
who
that
made
they
the
just-
Mass Effects that you liked? They left the
What?
studio after Mass Effect 2.
Was Starfield what BioWare just? What is the thing
No,
that
that was
BioWare just?
Starfield
whiffed?
is Bethesda.
Okay.
And it was
Well, what did BioWare just whiff on royally?
Veilguard.
That's what it is.
Veilguard.
Veilguard. Yep. Oh, we got another. We'll put the 2 monetized right there in the middle for us.
Oh
just-
yes, indeed. The wealthy, the privileged, the
The-
upper classes.
You are privileged. You can get chats and
We have
membership.
bold
Privileged,
privilege.
yes. Wealthy,
No,
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Just outside.
Saying hello. Yep. It's so we're doing our video games discussion. So for 2025, Slender's prediction, which I think is from when I listen to video game chat, whether it's That Game Place or like Side Scrollers or any of those other ones.
Eric,
think
I
so.
will not freak. I hate 90% of the games EA puts out, but I did have several of the Need for Speed games. I've always loved the Need for Speed games.
I love
They always struck me as a lot more fun than the Gran Turismo. The Gran Turismo was always too real. Need for Speed was fun. I liked the running from the cops simulators.
the Hot Pursuit ones. Oh,
Yeah.
when I was
so
like
good.
For PS2, I would play with my brother, and we would be like switching off between who was the cops and who was the guy being chased. And I used to love when when it was my turn to be the cop, and I could throw out the spike strips and make them like wreck. It was good stuff.
Yeah,
Last
it's
one I
fun
remember
times.
liking from EA was SSX.
Tricky.
That whole series.
I like
Yeah,
the
those are-
SSX
I liked all of
series
them.
as well.
I thought they were all fun. The last one
The
was
thing
a
I
little bit
didn't
iffy.
like, the thing I didn't like was when EA decided they wanted to expand beyond a lot of the sports type games and the racing games and such, and they bought up studios like Westwood and destroyed RTSs forevermore. And I hate that.
I mean,
Yeah.
part of me thinks that the real-time strategy game format also kind of died anyway.
I don't know.
There's a-
StarCraft disagrees.
Yeah, I would
StarCraft
say
is its own. I mean, well, South Korea kept StarCraft alive for 2 decades, and
there
Imp knows
are
what I'm
still
talking about.
RTSs that are extremely popular. It's not mainstream by any means, but RTSs are not dead.
Never mind that. Is Star Citizen going to get released in 2025?
No. No.
I mean, but you wait. Here's the question: Star Citizen or Winds of Winter? Which gets here first?
Winds of Winter will be here in April of 2025.
If we're saying Star Citizen, Winds of Winter, Silk Song.
It's a
Silk
trick.
Song will get here before those.
Yes, exactly.
Death
It's
of the
a trick
universe.
question. It's a different answer completely. Yes.
Imp over here going with option D: the heat death of the universe will arrive first.
And he's
It is.
welcoming it.
Yeah, it's.
Josh
I mean,
Hammond,
I don't even know.
the next Squirrel with a Gun video, I've recorded it. I haven't edited it yet. I've been very sick, and it's one of those sicknesses that apparently just makes you tired for months. So I just got to find the energy to edit part 2, and it'll
And by
go up
sick, he
soon.
means physically for once.
Are we not naming
I'm
it?
physically sick. What?
Are we not naming the sickness?
I have mononucleosis.
He got the kissing disease.
I got the kissing disease.
Oh,
I'm always
you get that
kissing
from-
people.
Did you get that from licking doorknobs or something?
Toilet seats, actually.
Chad's got to go get tested.
no, I'm good.
I was going to say windows, but sure, let's go with toilet seats. That's funnier.
Luckily, the children in my home aren't teenagers. So.
Chad's like, luckily, this is always my energy level.
I'm
That's my
super.
secret. I've always got mono.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm super high energy.
Mono used to be the standard. It's stereo now.
I'm the most high energy. I have the best energy.
The best energy. The biggest energy.
Bad take, Bojan. Wow, I hadn't heard of someone with mono since college. By the way, this is the gateway where somehow some bad take Bojan lore is going to stem out of this.
yes, bad take. Do elaborate. What happened in college with
Well,
mono?
there was. I was running a kissing booth, and the nerds managed to be selling, pies.
I'm somewhat of a super spreader myself.
It's like my nickname was Typhoid Bojan. No.
Matt
Brett,
must have
you're-
just started listening to the intro.
You are right, Slender, because he is almost on time for Central Standard Time.
Yep.
He's.
I
he's
told
doing-
you, never give him Eastern time because he cannot make the conversions.
I'm
true.
the
I always
hugest
give him-
energy Chad in his monotone voice. Yeah.
I have to convert all of the time over to Central for him. And then Slender has a tendency to convert it to military time just to be completely positive.
That way we don't have to do an AM PM comparison because he's done that to us before. He's hit us up at 9 a.m. and been like, all right, guys, I'm ready. Where is everybody?
Is Davina's dropping real science. I don't want to read it.
No, that is what it's called. It's the Epstein-Barr virus.
It sounds like something
an
you would take to be a
Epstein
lawyer.
Acquired at the Epstein bar.
At the Epstein Island bar. Yeah.
And it's just like chicken pox. Once you get it, it's in you forever. Like you just have it now.
Oh, Eric's killing me. Of just like the Obi-Wan from A New Hope. Of course I know her. It's me.
And here's Bad Takes lore.
Well, we were playing a
And there it
drunken
is.
game of Skid-Low that I'll have to tell you about. Well, I'm not surprised. There you go.
Oh boy.
Disappointed Chad didn't do the brep. Or is he? Yeah, he's
Brep.
really at the beginning. Yep. Brep.
No,
I'm
he's
sorry,
disappointed you didn't read it that way.
You well, I mean, you used up all the braps for the for the intro.
Yeah.
And
None of us have braps left, Mad. You used all the braps.
didn't wipe those glasses down. Nope. I remember when I was in college, the thing that they were trying to freak out all college kids about, and Brahma might remember because it was around the same time, was the what was the meningitis. Like if you like where if you get the like bacterial meningitis, you'll die
Spinal
within
meningitis.
24 hours. Yeah, you'll die within 24 hours. And I thought it was all bullshit until one of the professors at our college actually got it and died within 48 hours. It was crazy. Poor guy. I was like, but he was a psychology professor, so he's probably doing something weird at his house with co-ed. So
Thought he might have been more men in tights than meningitis. But,
but it is that shit is
wait. They didn't wipe those glasses down. Isn't Suck and Blow the one with the cards?
But
No
this
glass
is two,
in that
two
game?
different people talking.
Oh,
Bad
okay.
Take
I don't know.
Bojan was talking about Suck and Blow. Davina Duckworth was saying they didn't wipe the glasses down.
Oh, well, yeah.
Davina's like speaking to the real causes and spreading of the actual thing, and
Yeah.
Bad Take Bojan is getting into her party days at college.
Well, I mean that's true.
Okay.
When you're in a house with you know us and all the kids and everything, it's like somebody uses a glass for water and then they just set it on the counter. You don't wipe the glass down afterwards. You go in there and you're like, oh, empty glass, cool. Let me get some water.
I'm a little confused by this one, and it seems out of context. Slender, help me with your bride's comment.
I think
Hey,
that's the
man.
brap.
I think of it every time I burp. Is that the
I think when
brap?
she's thinking
Okay.
of brap, she burps.
Brap? Okay, got it.
It's like a psychosomatic response.
And
Like
that's how you
insane.
get mono. It's-
Yeah, but now I've got it, so I don't have to worry about it ever again.
Do you guys want mono? Because that's how you get mono.
mono, a mono. All right, I think
That was one of my favorite bits from Archer. Do you
Because
guys
I'm
want
not gonna
ants?
stop hanging
Because
out with
that's
my
how you get
kids,
ants.
so-
Sense.
If one of them was the patient zero that brought it home from school,
Bad Take Bojan did send me, and I'm going to share this real quick because this picture just looks ridiculous. This is Nicole Kidman and Ariana Grande at the Palm Springs International Film Festival 2 nights ago.
Two walking, talking scarecrows.
Just look at
Mm.
this. She looks like she's from Munchkin Land next to Nicole Kidman.
Nicole
and,
Kidman looks like she's dressed as a mermaid.
Yes.
and
And
so-
her face still doesn't move.
I think, and Bad Take Bojan's comment was like they look like Jack Skellington and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like, I feel like I just really want to walk right over and hand them both a sandwich and say, just eat, just sit
No.
down. Just
Nicole
eat.
Kidman likes crickets, not sandwiches.
Is it semantic or is it somatic?
It's psychosomatic.
Psychosomatic.
and
Somatic.
insane.
Semantics
That's,
is like the way you say something.
Yeah.
Matt's just gonna do the whole song now. Where are you, Mad?
Yeah.
Someone give those chicks food in their bones stat. Yeah. Matt is actually probably at a social gathering with
Well, what's that
Shredder.
new weight loss drug that everyone in
Ozempic.
Hollywood is taking?
Ozempic.
I don't trust that shit.
No.
That seems.
Davina's saying what's even worse is the camera adds 20 pounds.
Does everyone remember Fen back in the day?
Yep.
Yeah.
When you were people were basically taking speed in order to.
Yeah, and then they ended up
Well, and
giving themselves heart attacks and dying.
it was on the market for 8 years before they realized that it was causing people's heart valves to collapse. Like, I would not take Ozempic. Except
Well, Ozempic's
Lizzo,
been on the
like-
market forever too as a diabetes drug. It's just suddenly they've all decided, oh, we should use it for weight loss now.
Yeah, it seems like a terrible idea.
Well, I guess if you die, then that's the ultimate in weight loss.
And like I said, like I guess Lizzo's been using Ozempic and she's lost a whole bunch of weight.
And good for her. Good for her to do that.
And that's awesome. But we were discussing it, and I was like, you know, it'd be better if she just diet and exercise. But when you're that weight, it's probably more unhealthy to not lose the weight as quickly as possible.
Well,
because
it's the same logic as doing what is it, the gastric bypasses.
yeah, it's a
gastric
risk analysis.
Gastric bypass was designed initially for people like so morbidly obese they were on the verge of dying any day.
Yeah,
Right? It was supposed to be
Fat,
like
orca fat.
like the people that you remember in the old days on Jerry Springer where they'd cut them out of the trailers because they couldn't get through the door anymore, so they actually had to like take the wall of the trailers down so they could forklift them out of
To
their,
lift them out with a crane or something.
Gilbert
Yeah,
Grape's mom.
yeah, that's what like, so gastric bypass was, okay, you're 600-700 pounds. At any given moment, your heart and your body will just give out and you'll die. So the risk of gastric bypass is actually far lower than what you're dealing with anyway. So we're going to do it. And then it became a trendy thing where people who, I mean, even though this is fat, like 250 to 350, that's fat. But it's not, you shouldn't be doing surgical intervention for that kind of obesity. You should be doing lifestyle changes. Because as we saw with Carney Wilson from Wilson Phillips, who's had 3 or 4 of the different gastric bypass and stomach bands and all that shit, she immediately just starts getting right back on track and regaining the weight. The difference is once you do those like stomach stapling and gastric bypasses, the lining of your stomach becomes you re-stretch it back out to get fat again, and it's very thin, and you could have a lot of like sepsis issues and a lot of really negative consequences when you get fat again because you did these other things. So it's
It's
a
the
bad
same
idea.
thing with Ozempic is you plateau using that drug. And since you never really changed your habits, Ozempic just makes you not hungry and
Yeah.
makes you, diarrhea everywhere. So the fact that
took
you're never actually
Fen
changing
before
your
my weight.
eating habits doesn't mean that you're not going to just, go right back up the second you start plateauing.
All right, here's some more Bojan Lord. Fen before the wedding, and it worked great. And
She
then
apparently did fen
Bev-
and gastric.
gastric
Now I think
bypass
she's just throwing out fake
Yeah,
lore to throw
now
us
it's-
off the
now
trail.
we're just getting thrown out, yeah. Hey, Jaffo's in the
The
chat.
trail
What's up,
of
Jaffo?
what? Howdy, Jaffo.
Like, here's the thing. What this means is that recently, probably in the last like 10 episodes or so, Bad Take said something she regrets us knowing, us being able to add to the lore. So now she's just saying all the things so that we
Now
think
she's
something
going
that she said is a
two
lie
truths
and
and
we
a
don't know
lie.
what's true.
Bad
Are
Take
you-
does 2 truths and a lie every episode.
Now Bojan is going in like the usual suspects thing. She's just pulling out stuff from whatever's going on in the chat. From when I was in a barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois, doing fen, getting gastric bypass.
That's the second usual suspects reference tonight because I pulled out the orca one and nobody reacted.
Yeah. What's up, Mad?
Hello.
Hello.
Right on time
About
because
10 minutes
this would-
early, though.
10 minutes early because he thought he'd be in the room before the show started. You're right,
As soon
Slender.
as,
I need
as
to,
soon as
I need
you
to
weren't
do
here
the
an hour
adjustment.
ago, I went into the chat and I was like, you gave him Eastern time. He's not
I-
going to be here.
Yeah, I go by the time I'm given.
Whatever clock he's looking at.
All right, so this is fun. So I think we can we'll start looking. This is good. So this is a list of movie releases coming out. And this was supplied on the X service by way of DeepL. So thank you for doing that because I had another one, but they were populating a lot of streaming television shows and things. So that's kind of separate. I'll start out by saying
Man movie didn't look too bad.
I'm going to start right out by saying Den of Thieves 2 comes out next week, and that's going to be probably the best movie in the next couple months from what I'm
True.
seeing on this list. If you haven't seen Den of Thieves, it's great.
It's great.
And although the difference is it looks like O'Shea Jackson Jr. is inflated a little bit between 1 and 2. So the poor guy, he's getting a little
Needs to
bit
get
more,
on that Ozempic.
needs to get a little more Ozempic. But the first one was awesome. And so I'm looking forward to, although the Pantera, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Pantera. It's metal, whatever.
Well, that's wrong.
I like Pantera.
Greatest
the
hockey
Terrors
goal
fantastic.
song ever.
Cowboys from Hell.
All
No,
right.
the Stars goal song is Pantera.
Yeah, which one do they do?
No, it was specially written for them. It's
Oh.
Puck Off, I think it's called, or something like that. So it's,
All right,
it's specially
um,
written. Yeah.
So January is usually a pit for movie releases. So the fact that Den of Thieves 2 and Flight Risk, which is the new Mel Gibson directed movie with Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah, I'll have
where
a trailer for that.
where he's even like bald and looks kind of
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go see that in theaters. Like, I like Mark Wahlberg, but he's Mark Wahlberg in every movie I've ever seen him in.
I don't know. Did you watch the trailer for this one? It's
I didn't.
different.
I haven't seen it. I swear when we went to see something, we saw the trailer for Wolfman, and I was like, well, that doesn't look as bad as I thought it would be.
Well, Wolfman, they're doing definitely a more horror take, where it's like almost like you're not even just changing at the full moon. You're just in the process of being completely changed over. I did think it was interesting where apparently they're going to be playing with the fact that like you can't even understand what people say anymore as you're changing, which is a unique take. Lily of the Valley says Goonies is going to be a Fathom event. Yeah, I think it's the 40th. Jesus, the 40th anniversary of Goonies. So they'll be putting that one out.
World.
Uh,
Love Hurts
Um,
looked like it would be fun.
Jacob was talking about September 5 last night. I think he's already seen it and said it was pretty good.
What is that one?
It is about the 72 Olympics in Munich when
Oh, okay, yeah.
when the
they
people who are currently fighting now
when the Palestinian Liberation Army took the hostages in Munich.
and then it's covering kind of how the news and the governments both got it completely wrong. Or was that you that was talking about it 70s?
No, I wasn't talking about it.
Okay,
I was
think
there,
it was
but
Jacob.
it was I think it was Jacob. Yeah.
But like
pause. Now that Matt is here, I have to tell chat. Right? Bad Monkey. If you have Apple TV, go watch Bad Monkey. It's fucking amazing.
It's good, right?
Apple
the one with
TV is
Vince
like
Vaughn?
giving, it is. Apple TV is giving everybody like a free week of access or something like the trial.
Yeah,
that I think.
I'd wait until after
Maybe.
Severance season 2 because that's going to be awesome. I love Severance, the first season.
Not gonna lie, Apple's got some solid shows. I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
didn't
easy.
cancel my subscription before my 7 days elapsed because I was like, I haven't watched all the things Mad told me I needed to watch, so I guess I'm just gonna have to keep it for another month.
What Raised
But,
by Wolves, Bad Monkey?
Not raised,
There's a few.
not
Ra-
raised by wolves.
Raised by Wolves was HBO.
Yeah,
Was it?
the
Okay.
wolves.
The
Wolves.
Wolf. I think
The
just
Wolves.
Wolves.
So what's
Wolves.
Bad Monkey about?
A detective who's no
Con-
longer a
yeah.
detective down in
Okay.
Florida.
And he has
So
a
it became
monkey
a
who's
bad
very
monkey.
curious.
No, there's no. The monkey
His
is a
name isn't
different
George?
character entirely.
The monkey's called George.
It's a
The
good
main
show.
character is Vince Vaughn, and it is a very Vince Vaughn role, but he's basically a mouthy detective who's
Mhm.
been kind of kicked off the force, but he's trying to get back onto the force. And so he's basically, they have demoted him to, he is a health inspector for the restaurants in the
Oh,
area.
it's a Carl Hyacin novel. Okay,
I feel like Mad really related to the concept of a mouthy police officer who kept getting in trouble.
that does look good.
But it,
Dude,
it also stars.
you could swap out all of Vince Vaughn's lines in that show with Mad's voice, and they fit perfectly.
But the guy, one of the co-stars in it was the one from Deadpool. Was it Peter? You know.
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
like-
yeah. Everyone
And
has
he-
a Peter.
and he had a much. He actually got to act in this one, and he was pretty solid. So. It was,
Oh, John
it was funny.
Ortiz? No, Ortiz? Was he
Is
in
that what his name is?
No, wait a minute. Was he in
I don't think he
Can't
had
remember.
a Latin name.
He doesn't.
Peter-
He didn't
Peter.
look like he should. So I don't know.
No.
No.
Okay.
From the size of the thing in his pants, it looked like he should have a African American last name. In
I
Deadpool
feel like
Green.
that might have been digitally enhanced. So
You think?
it's fine. I mean, you never know.
Looked
Justin
practical to
Thoreau.
me.
Justin Thoreau would pull that off practically.
But no, and then in a couple episodes, there's a corrupt doctor, and it's played by the guy from Scrubs, and it was so perfect. Made me nostalgic to go
Zac
back and
Braff.
watch Scrubs.
I even like the Dragon Queen.
I did too, and I did not think that I would in the first couple of episodes. I did not like her, and by the end, I was rooting for her.
Yes, he's good.
All right. Flight Risk is January 24th. That's the Mel Gibson one. I do think that looks good. I unfortunately will be in the theaters January 31st because my son is super excited that Dogman is coming out. I mean, if he's an indicator, that movie is going to do solid business with kids because that's the best-selling graphic novel of the last 10 years. Scholastic runs it. I don't know if anybody has kids in the right age range to
The
even know.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid was like the best-selling.
That was
whatever.
before that.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah, so Diary of the Wimpy Kids was the mid O's where it was peaking, but it's still coming out. My son reading those now too. But this one, what is it? The same guy did Captain Underpants? Does Dogman?
I know Captain Underpants.
Yeah, bad to. I remember my boys reading Dogman.
Which, by the way, let's just be honest. Captain Underpants is a total ripoff of Quail Man from Doug.
Rue.
Yeah,
No, just us.
I know Quailman
I mean-
with Patty Mayonnaise and Doug and all the rest.
He wears his underwear over his pants.
And then he put
And
his
a belt
belt
on his head.
on his head. Yeah. The next big thing it looks like in terms of releases for Valentine's Day.
Boy, look at all that faith they have in it, putting it right there in the hot movie time of February.
Why would Captain
That's when the
America
first
happen
Deadpool
on
came out.
Valentine's Day?
Isn't that
I mean-
Black History Month? Isn't that why they put it there? Or is that
Because
something
it's
else?
date night.
Oh no, that's the
Oh.
Yaku. That's Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm thinking.
If I remember, when did the first
That is Assassin's Creed.
when did the
Shadows.
first Black Panther come out? It was also like a winter.
I am
release.
sure it was in Black History Month.
I don't know if it was.
Because
Could've
that was real history. Wakanda's a real place.
Yep, that's what I keep hearing.
Which is
It was.
You'd
alright,
think
yeah.
so with the way some people fucking advertise it.
Black Panther came out in the United States February 16th, 2018. So that's they're trying to
That's
mirror
Dead Center
that.
Black History Month.
Yeah.
I mean,
trying to
but didn't
milk
the
that
second one
buzz.
come out at that same time?
No, I think the second one was a November release.
Now, Black Panther 2, apparently they knew was just going to be shit because that came out in November.
No, November's actually a better release date. Wakanda
Deadpool
Forever's
1
release
came
date
out
was
on-
November 11th.
Deadpool 1 came out on Valentine's Day. That's why they had all the Valentine's talk in the movie.
Well, I mean, Deadpool was they didn't have high expectations for it. It overperformed.
No, they
beyond-
thought Deadpool was going to fail. They were
Yeah.
convinced.
Which
The
is why they
Deadpool-
put it out in February.
No,
I
the
don't know,
test
the
footage
test
got
footage had everybody excited.
no, the test foot. Yeah, it had everybody excited, and Deadpool's excitement level from the people who made it. The reason it got greenlit with like a $25 to $50 million budget was because they could put it out in February and it would make
Because
make barely profit.
originally,
It wasn't-
originally they turned it down, and from what I heard, the test footage got leaked.
It
Most
didn't-
likely
it
by
got
Ryan
leaked
Reynolds
by Ryan
himself.
Reynolds.
Yeah, he did it on purpose. The first Deadpool's budget was 58 million, which is perfectly in line with doing a winter release where you don't expect much. And so they put it in because there would be no competition. So they were hoping they could get 65, 70 million box office out of it, and it blew up.
Makes sense.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so that was one of the ones where it came out of nowhere. In the same another example that was Matrix. That movie came out in the beginning of April in 1999 because they had no they had no expectations for it. It actually came out early on. They thought it would just be a low budget sci-fi thing, and it went crazy and did really well.
Probably didn't think it was going to do anything because they had just released Dark City the year before and had already done The Matrix.
13th floor was out at the same
I mean,
time.
I know that they have it's very similar aesthetics, but The Matrix, after that Super Bowl trailer, completely changed, flipped the script a little bit.
So they're missing one for February, which is
What's
the Led Zeppelin documentary, Becoming Led Zeppelin, that's out in February.
I don't think.
Yeah.
They
What's
said
I'm more
major
interested-
releases.
Yeah, what I'm more interested in the fact is Paddington in Peru
I
is
s-
opening up against
I saw the
Captain
trailer
America.
for that at the cinema today. I saw the Paddington trailer. It does look like
Hey.
a good family movie.
Shifty's here. Hey,
Hey,
Shifty.
Shifty.
Antonio Banderas was in
No,
it.
Paddington's as a family franchise is awesome. Like they are
it looked good.
perfect.
Did look
Paddington
good.
2 is one of the best family movies ever made. It's like it had a perfect rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It was 100%
Well, this
for
trailer
years.
looked pretty good. Yeah.
until one guy who got his Rotten Tomatoes credentials decided to go in and give Paddington 2 a bad review. And it wasn't because he didn't think the movie was great. It's because he didn't think anything should be 100%. It's like a baseball writer for the Hall of Fame being like, no one's a first ballot, so I won't vote for Mariano Rivera. I won't vote for Cal Ripken Jr. Like, shut your mouth, vote. You're an idiot. Like, or these guys who are like, Eli Manning's not a Hall of Famer. Shut
He's
up.
not.
He is.
I'm a Giants fan, and even I'm going to say he's kind of not.
Fuck off. 2 Super Bowls, excellent
Super
rating
Bowl
against
wins.
Yeah.
competition.
Oh, okay.
competition.
Trent Diffler has a Super Bowl. What do you rank
A
him?
single one. He has a single one. You can get people who fluke into one, but it takes
And
a
he
good
was
guy
not
to get
the
into
driving force behind that Super Bowl win.
Nor was Eli Manning.
2. Okay, bullshit. Did you go back
Yeah,
and
he
watch
was.
the playoff games? Eli was MVP both times. He beat the best competition in the league in each playoff run to get
He
to the
stopped
Patriots.
Undefeated Patriots in the last game of the season. Before
No, they
getting
lost
to the
that game.
playoffs.
They lost that game.
They lost the last regular season game.
That's what I'm saying.
But
He
it was
stopped
close.
them from having the undefeated season.
No,
so
they did have an undefeated season.
They had an undefeated regular
Did they?
season.
Yes.
They won 16-0 in the regular season. It's funny because I got the Super Bowl champion hat for that win, and on the back of the hat it has like the Patriots record. Like the Patriots record was it was 18-1. It was printed on the Giants Super Bowl champion hats because obviously the one loss was the Super Bowl. So
It's the
It was
one that
hilarious.
counts.
that's what it said. It was like basically like we wanted it more. It was great. It's a great hat.
So I'm looking for predictions here. I think Paddington will get better box office than Captain America.
No, it's not going to do that. But
Paddington for the win.
I don't know. I feel like Captain America, as much as we hate on it, I think Captain America will open decent and then just kind of fall
It won't
off
have any
there.
legs.
It won't have legs, but I think it will still open. I mean, Jesus, like if some of these other movies can open, like Sonic 3, I liked it. Sonic 3 opened to like 60 million, so I don't think Captain America is going to have trouble opening to like 75, 80.
Oh, I think that's a little high.
I think that's a bit high.
I think I mean,
60 maybe.
what are the? I
You
mean,
gotta
even
remember the birth
Shang-Chi.
rate is down, so there won't be that many kids.
I don't know if it quite
We're
works.
losing the kids, man.
I don't know what the monkey is. I don't know what the Unbreakable Boy is. Day of the
I
Earth.
only see like 3
No,
movies I
no.
want to see, and oddly enough, 2 or 3
Mickey
of them
17.
are horror movies.
Oh yeah, Mickey 17.
I
looked
saw the
interesting.
trailer for that today as well. Mickey
Oh, you
17.
hadn't seen the trailer before?
No,
that
I
looked
just saw it.
pretty
at the cinema.
interesting.
It looked okay. Yeah, it's the Korean director, the Snowpiercer guy, but it's Robert Pattinson again.
Have you
But
guys seen the trailer for Mickey
Put me off
17?
because Mark Ruffalo's in
No.
it, so I immediately
I don't
went,
think so.
not sure I'm going to go see that.
So the concept is, he's a guy working like in deep space as a laborer, and
Oh yes, I have.
Because
Yeah, with Robert
big-
Patterson.
with Robert Pattinson, because the jobs are so risky, if you die in the opera, they just clone you and send you back out to just start
Yeah,
working again.
I think it does look very good, and
It's
I
like-
And-
It's like
But
that
the-
Tom Cruise movie, except with laughs.
But the thing
The
is,
one
you're
where
only there's
Oblivion?
yeah, there's
Was it Oblivion?
only supposed to be one of you, right? So if they think that if the guy that they thought died didn't die, you're supposed to dispose of him
Yeah.
anyway, because they don't want multiples of this thing. But something goes wrong, and so Mickey 17 over here survives, and it's about them going through.
Didn't they
In-
just
in
do
a lot of
movie
ways-
like that like 2 or 3 years ago?
Well,
where
Tom Cruise had
the
was
person,
it
that was
Oblivion?
nothing like this.
if you had a terminal illness, then you could get cloned. And
That was
that's
with
a good
Karen
movie too.
Gillan. Yeah, that was by the same guy who did
Art of
the Art of
Self-Defense.
Self-Defense. It was, what is it called? What was, I got it. It was Karen Gillan. It was called anyway. I didn't like the ambiguous ending. But
it sounds very similar.
It's been done
I
a
don't
few
think so
times.
at all.
Moon was the same. Clones. The guy that clones of Sam Rockwell.
oh, that's what it is. The Unbreakable Boy is Zachary Levi's family drama about the autistic
Well,
son.
there was
Yeah.
that one where your clone lived on an island, right?
The
And
Island.
you
That was
you
The
would use
Island.
them for organs.
Yeah, Ewan
Yeah.
McGregor, wasn't it? Ewan
Scarlett
McGregor?
Johansson and Ewan McGregor, I think.
That was around
Yeah.
peak Scarlett Johansson when she was like super hot.
We're still in peak Scarlett Johansson.
I mean,
Mhm.
But Mickey 17 looks okay so far. I mean, the trailer's good. Who knows? But I'd go see it.
Pattinson is
Apart
one of
from
those
Mark
guys
Ruffalo.
where after Twilight, I really don't want to like him, but he keeps making movies that I like.
What
Thank
is
you.
what is my dead friend Zoe? What the hell is that?
I
That's
don't know.
Pattinson
what he
was
would
the-
do.
Pattinson was the only good thing in Tenet.
Nobody knows.
Is a no, this looks stupid.
My
Engaged
dead-
in a mysterious relationship with her dead best friend from the army, a female Afghanistan veteran comes head to head with her Vietnam vet grandfather.
All right,
at the
we can
family's
move on.
ancestral-
Yeah, I've seen a
Sounds
trailer
dumb.
for it. It looks as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
That's what they
All
used
right.
to call high concept.
The name
What's-
sounded interesting, and then you started reading the description, and I fell asleep.
No, there's only one like global war on terror movie I want to see this year, and that's and we already talked about that one. I think was it last week or the week before? Because when I was asking Matt if he had seen the trailer, because in case he had flashbacks about it.
Dude, the only one I want to see is 13 Hour again.
Yeah.
Watched that movie
Uh,
like 4
yeah,
times. I
it's
still
great.
fucking love it every time.
Great.
We got Disney's Snow White coming March 21st. That's when we find out how epically bad people hate.
Can't
That's
wait.
probably around the time we'll also find out whether they're going to release the Brett Cooper Snow White from Daily Wire, because they said they wanted to go head to head with Disney on that.
Mm,
I mean, that was before she did her hostage video and got let out. Yeah.
is the
Um,
sequel to Passion of the Christ there?
Yes, there is.
The
I
sequel.
don't know that they're just going to scrap a movie because they got rid of her as a Daily Wire pundit.
No,
though.
they spent a lot of money on that shit.
Yeah. They own the movie.
I'm determined not to see Minecraft. It looks
Yeah,
terrible.
Minecraft looks like a piece of shit.
Looks like piece
On
of
I
garbage.
mean,
April
I am
4th, we
going
got
to
Minecraft.
see it because I love Minecraft, but I'm not expecting to be thrilled.
Why would you go? I feel like if I liked
I'm not going to the
Minecraft, like-
theater to see it. I'm going to see it.
Oh, okay. I'll
Sounds
make
like
sure it's
difference.
available.
Jack Black lover now.
Jack
Yeah.
Black.
Did you watch the
There
Dear
was a
Santa?
time when Jack Black was awesome. Okay,
Yes.
I
there
don't know
was.
what happened. I don't know what went wrong.
He went from being punk to being what everybody else is.
He's like Kevin Smith. Okay, Kevin Smith used to be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, but Jack Black.
The
didn't
difference is
lose-
Jack Black didn't lose the weight. Oh,
you son
me
of a
and Mad
bitch.
both.
Or
did
have a
it.
heart attack. Yet.
All right, Jack Black's last great performance was probably Tropic Thunder.
Soul. Okay, I'm gonna give you some Slender lore. All right. There is a book that I have been working on off and on the side. The main character is actually modeled after Jason Momoa. Okay, like
But the real
I am a
Jason
Momoa fan. I think he's a cool dude.
I do too. I loved him in Fast X. I thought it was my comedy of 2023.
All right, real quick. Does Passion 2 Resurrection Boogaloo break the $250 million opening weekend? No, it doesn't even
No.
come close. It's not even going to sniff what the first one made. I'm going to be
Mhm.
honest. So I would imagine that's around Easter this year. When is Easter? That's
Easter's
releasing
in April.
It's the first
Easter
Sunday in April,
is-
right?
Yeah, April 20th is Easter this year. So that's
Third
the
Sunday
week.
in April.
So that's Easter weekend that it's releasing.
Just
It'll
cashing in.
well.
That's
I mean,
terrible exploitation.
I don't know. It depends.
Just
If you're-
releasing it at Easter, they're just cashing in.
if
I
you're
mean,
genuine,
if
you
Jesus were around, he'd probably be flipping some projectors. That's all I'm
If-
saying.
if you genuinely believe in and you're a Christian, the Easter releasing the sequel where Jesus actually is resurrected and it's a pretty big deal. So
Yeah.
you're
It's a pretty
you're
big
gonna
deal.
you're gonna
That would be like,
mean,
I don't know. I don't know if people should just go to church on Easter. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty effed up, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think Jesus
So-
would like that.
So I mean, I'm just saying. I think there's an argument to be made that spreading the gospel of the resurrection through film on Easter weekend has a place.
No, there is.
No.
It's
I'm
just as
assuming
long as you're not doing it in his father's house.
I'm
you're
assuming
fine.
it's not Jim Caviezel.
No, I think he's back.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing Jesus this time though.
Wait, hold on. Then who is he playing?
That would be weird.
I think he's playing. He
Hmm.
might be playing Paul.
What?
Davina, Brutal Legend was actually pretty fun.
No, never mind. He is playing.
It wasn't
Jesus.
a great game, but it was
wait.
a good game.
He's back as Jesus.
Jesus, you've only been dead for 3 years. Why does it look like you've aged 20?
3 days.
3 days. Sorry. Yeah. 3 days. I was because 20 years.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay,
it's a
well, the
crossover with
chat-
It's a frequency crossover. Maybe.
The chat has reached a quorum on Brutal Legend. We all thought it was okay.
All right. Yeah. So he's apparently per IMDb. He is back playing Jesus, but the only credits on the movie are Peter, Jesus, and Mary. So
I feel like there's
It's-
missing a few.
yeah, I think they're missing a few people there. All right. So we're
Oh, it's Jim
it could be-
Caviezel,
Ooh,
not
Accountant
his
too.
Jesus.
Accountant 2 actually might be.
It was a good film, the first one. Yeah.
Yep.
That has a possibility of being good or being just terrible. Like it's going to be really good or really bad. It's not going to
I
have
mean-
an in between.
Well,
It just
it'll
has to
basically-
just has to replicate the first one, and it'll be good.
Yep.
That
all
would
it
be
has to
really
do.
good. The
Yeah.
problem is they don't always do that.
No,
They
And sometimes
Sometime-
they replicate it too close, and then you get the Expendables crap, and it
or you
just
get
turns into
Boondock
5, 6,
Saints
and
2
7.
All Saints Day where it was just bad.
All
So-
Saints Boogaloo.
I'll hold out hope for Accountant 2. I like the first.
What's Marvel's Thunderbolts?
Oh no, that's awful.
That's the one where it's
Yeah.
the basically
Marvel's
the,
version of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they
fuck
ripped off the
off.
trailer.
Yeah.
That's a crazy degree. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's the B team of like so it's the Winter Soldier, not Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow with Florence Pugh.
Which I
Who
like
I've
her.
talked- I don't know, man, because I still go back to when she was in Oppenheimer and her body just looked weird.
Okay,
It
I
is.
didn't mean like I like her, like I want to date her. I meant I like her as an actress in that character.
Well, I
Eric
mean,
Myers,
you
I don't
actually
think Expendables
liked her
3 was
character?
awesome
Yeah, I thought she was the
necessarily,
only good part
but
of the Black
think
Widow
all
movie.
the Expendable movies were fun. Like I don't think any of them were like great, but I think they were all fun. I didn't hate any of them.
and
And
yeah, so
Thunderbolts is going to be where Harrison Ford does most of his acting for Marvel, isn't it?
no,
No.
he's not even in it.
Oh, I thought he was basically who's sending them out for everything.
No,
Nuh-uh.
it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character.
Oh, okay.
But they're doing another Final Destination. Fucking.
I love Final
I think
Destination.
they're fun.
At some
They're
point,
just
they need
crazy.
to explain to people what final means.
Yeah, kind of like Final Fantasy.
Final.
Yeah,
let's
but there's an
see,
actual story as to why Final Fantasy's called that.
Yeah,
know.
it makes sense.
Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. I'm sorry. I'm a
down for
sucker
that.
for it. They're
You're
good
wrong.
movies. They're
You're wrong.
entertaining. You've never even goddamn watched them.
I've
What?
never watched a single Mission Impossible, but
So
you're wrong.
don't tell me that
Matt
I'm
told
wrong.
me you were wrong. He said
Yeah,
that
that
the
last
last Mission
one.
Impossible
Since
sucked.
when do we listen to Mad?
True.
I listen to Matt every time because
Matt
he
just
is
told
the font of all
Florence
wisdom.
Pugh
Thank you.
was the best part about the Black Widow movie, and the correct answer is there was no good part.
No, I mean,
about the
no.
Black Widow movie.
Okay.
But
They're
going
doing
on
Lilo
to June
and Stitch
6th,
again?
Ballerina.
That's the
I'm
live-action
there
one.
for that one.
Ballerina. Yeah.
What about Karate Kid's Legends?
Don't care at all.
Actually,
mean,
it,
it looks
it
fine.
looks mildly interesting to me.
Hmm.
I just
Ballerina, I
don't
think,
like
is
that
gonna-
they don't have Johnny in it.
I feel like Ballerina's going to bomb because they are overestimating the John Wick franchise for
Yep.
retaining people. John Wick is Keanu, and Keanu's not in Ballerina, but for like a couple minutes.
But
And
they also
it's
have
like-
Anna de Armas.
I
but
don't know
Anna
who
de
that
Armas
is.
doesn't. No one gives a shit about Anna de Armas.
Don't even know who that is.
Lots of people do.
No one
Don't
who's
even
going
know-
to buy a
I've never
ticket.
heard that
We'll
name
see.
before.
She's
I'll
not-
see
the-
it because of Anna
the-
de Armas.
The only people who care about Anna de Armas might just, instead of going to watch Ballerina, are going to go on the internet to whatever website has it and look at the screen caps from where she played Marilyn Monroe. That's
Never-
what they're
that's
going to
Here's
not
the
the
do.
movie
thing.
they would go
Never
watch.
heard
It
of
would
this
be the other
person.
one with Keanu Reeves.
I
Knock,
do want to
Knock or
write
whatever
off
it's called.
Ballerina as probably not going to be a great movie.
It's not.
But at the same time, I did not think that what was it? Despicable Me 4 was going to make bank either.
I don't think
Boy,
that's
was
a
I wrong on
comparison.
that.
All right,
Excellent.
that's not really a good comp for a family kids movie versus an
And
adult
that
action.
is the main reason why I think Ballerina might not do as well, but I think it'll do okay.
Well,
Where was the
gonna
last
go?
time?
What's its budget going to be? 50 million or something?
No,
So
its
if what-
budget is out of control. It's like
Is
$100
it?
million.
That's not so good. If it's 50 million budget, 200 million box office globally would be fine. But
I don't care
Yeah.
what its box office is.
you just
I
want
just
the
wanna
box.
see the-
80
You want
$80
the
million
box.
dollars.
If it takes 250 million globally, it'll break even.
80. All right, no, this movie. All right, what did Atomic Blonde make?
The fuck is
Atomic Blonde. I think Atomic Blonde is its closest comp.
Brahma's more interested in her box than the box office.
You don't remember that one with it was with Charlize Theron where she was
I
like
I
a
remember
spy
it, but
action.
it wasn't part of a. It wasn't a spinoff from a major series either.
It was directed by the same guy who directed John Wick. It
Chad
was
Stas.
or David Leitch,
Oh, okay.
who is I thought he did John Wick, didn't he?
Jaffo,
No, he
you're
did-
already in 2026. Calm down.
Never mind. He did Deadpool. He did John. Yeah, he did the first John Wick. So this was his follow up in 2017. Was Atomic Blonde. So yeah, it is the closest comp, and it didn't. I mean, people love it, think it's a great action movie, and it
I've
just
never even heard of it.
it didn't make the money, and that's because no offense, and I know people like this idea. Female led action movies do not make money. It's the truth. There might be an exception like Wonder Woman or something like that, but this isn't that. Like when you try to make them like action stars,
did-
like
Did
Last
Underworld-
Kiss Goodnight.
did
Underworld is-
Hold on. I gotta correct Jaffo. Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched the Scream movie since I think the second one, but Scream is having a bit of a renaissance. Teenagers fucking love that shit. Like my daughters and all their friends wanted to go see like Scream 6 or whatever when it first dropped because they
Never
thought it was
underestimate
great.
how retarded teenagers are.
Yeah, it's having a renaissance. Like I don't know why people like it, but teenagers fucking love those movies.
Yeah, so Atomic Blonde made $100 million worldwide total, which that sounds like great. That's not that that good. So I think Ballerina, because it's related to John Wick, might make 150 million worldwide total. I think it opens
That's a
up
very
in the
positive look.
yeah, that's the rosiest of outlook. I think at best it opens maybe around 25 to 30 million in the US, and then I don't know how it does overseas. Well, we're talking crow numbers is what I would say. How much
No
did that
way
piece
it'll
of
be
shit?
as bad as Crow.
I'm not saying the movie will be as bad. I'm saying it might open as bad. That was $9 million domestic. So, it should do better than that. But I think they're really overestimating
Yes, I agree.
this, and it's going to end up being like a giant debacle.
I don't
Right, but my
disagree.
thing is,
I don't
want
think
to
it's going
see
to
the
do as
movie.
bad as we think it is.
I just want to see the movie. I don't care what the box office is. You guys are box office people.
I don't.
That's just
it's
one of the
gonna be
movies
good.
I'm actually looking forward to this year.
You think the movie itself looks good?
Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
don't think it
I
looks
would.
bad.
I'm gonna give a hard disagree on that one too. I
Same.
think it looks like a
That's
redundant.
because you're mad misogynists.
True.
That's true.
I mean, I don't have to worry about producers keeping me off shows. It's fine. So,
Yes, you
Pixar's Elio. I mean, they don't even. Yeah. Anyway, Pixar's
Why are they
Elio.
doing a How to Train Your Dragon live
Oh,
action? That's gonna
you-
fail so hard.
Have they
Oh,
got
it's gonna
real
fail even
dragons?
Have you not
worse.
seen the
I have, and I
people
hate
that
it.
were hired and they're
I hate
already
it.
got some crazy stuff going around about it?
Have they got some real dragons if it's live action?
No, but they
real
got,
actual dragons.
They cast, I think it's Thandie Newton's daughter, to play Astrid.
Well,
And-
hold on
and-
now. If I remember correctly, isn't she?
Yep.
There's your Astrid for the How to Train Your Dragon
Yeah, she
That's a
looks like
boy.
a blonde Norse woman.
on the
That makes
right.
sense.
On the right.
Who's
And
on
the other guy
left?
on the left is Hiccup.
Which
Dude
one's the
playing
boy?
Hiccup
Which,
looks
which
close
one's the
enough to
boy?
Hiccup.
Which one? They're both girls, aren't? They're
Boy
both
on the
girls.
left.
All right, okay.
Girl
She
on
looks
the
like a
right.
girl. Yeah. The other
Okay,
one looks
will-
like a girl.
but let's step away from the characters they're playing. Is it a boy and a girl, or is it like a non-binary and a they them?
All right. I haven't having
pretty
seen
sure
the
it's-
trailer now. After they gave this kid a different haircut, he actually didn't look that far off
Okay.
the character.
Yeah,
from the
he
movie.
looks okay, but she doesn't look
She-
like Astrid at all.
No.
I mean,
No.
in this picture, it looks like they cloned Atreyu and then had him transition.
Yeah, it's yet another unnecessary movie. There's a few
Completely
on this
unnecessary.
list that are not necessary. Quite a few.
I was gonna say more than a few.
Yeah, yeah. A few
The dumb thing
reboots-
is-
reboots that are not needed.
Sandy's daughter actually has blonde hair in real life, but they gave her braids in the film. Yeah, because that's the thing they would, if she's going to be a Viking of color, they're going to go braids.
Is she a Viking hip hop
Yeah,
star?
those VOCs, man.
I mean, it's funny to say that, but that's an actual trend in Hollywood. They think, Vikings of color.
They did
Was
it in
a thing.
Vikings.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, they keep
So-
trying to push that.
But that's opening the same weekend as Pixar's Elio. So that's an interesting.
The only thing that has me excited about is the guy who played Stoic the Vast in the animated series is also playing Stoic the Vast in the live action, if I remember correctly.
Jared Butler, yeah.
Gerard Butler, yeah.
Gerard Butler.
And I'm a Gerard Butler fan. He's pretty cool.
Me
I like
too.
that guy.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of the movies because they're kids' movies.
I watched the Bounty Hunter the other day. Oh, that's still a funny movie. It's still a good rom-com.
Law-abiding citizens, the best
Citizen.
one.
Yeah, 300 law-abiding
Geostorm.
Geostorm. Oh, either that or Phantom of the Opera, man.
Geostorm.
Who's don't sleep on Phantom of the Opera.
I've seen that. But yeah, Law-Abiding Citizens is his best movie.
Do you want to talk about movies not to sleep on? Count of Monte Cristo. Such a good movie.
Well, he
Never-
wasn't even in that though.
Never
No,
sleep on.
but we're
never
talking about
sleep
movies
on-
not to sleep on.
Never sleep on the Count of Monte Cristo. Never.
All right, so on June 20th and June 27th are the two in June that I actually probably would want to see, which are 28 years later. That trailer was awesome.
The
I liked the
trailer was
trailer. I haven't seen
awesome,
the
but
previous
how are they
movies.
explaining this? Because I thought after 28 days they all starved to death.
Well,
So
that
what the
was.
fuck?
No,
They're gonna say that they mutated. I'm sure
don't
Of
forget at the
course.
end of 28 weeks later,
they were mutating and
and
not-
they
I don't even
released-
remember 20. I remember 28 weeks later took place in the city. That's all I really remember.
Yeah, and at the end it broke out again in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I
it
barely
was
remember
contained
the
to
second
Britain
one.
originally, and then they thought they were defeating it, and of course, like always, someone let someone into the quarantine zone that shouldn't have been in, and shit went to hell.
Yes, Davina, that
So-
was an amazing movie. I loved it.
And I also on the tangent for Counting Monte Cristo, I actually liked the changes they made to the actual book, because the real Count of Monte Cristo book gets a little weird. There's a whole part where he adopts like a 12-year-old girl who ends up becoming his love interest. It's weird.
Which is why we should never remake The Count of Monte Cristo with a modern audience or with modern writers, because they will include. They'll be like, no, that shit has to be in there.
I mean,
Right, I've got a quick question, because 28
Mhm.
years later is coming out 6/20, and then looking ahead in 2026, there's another 28 years
See
later
that.
coming out on
Yeah.
1/16. Is that a
Yeah, they-
spin-off, or is that
no,
a
they-
part 2, or
it's a they shot them like consecutively. They were shot at the same
so
time,
it's a
like
sequel,
the bone.
or it's a
Yes.
spin-off?
It's
No,
going to be
it's a-
part 2.
It's a direct sequel to this
Yeah,
one
it's
that's coming out.
it's going to be the
That's
thrilling conclusion to the first
Starting to
fucking
feel like
movie.
a part 2.
Do you like the part in the trailer where they get to the giant temple of bones? Well, there you go. That's what
And-
that's
yeah.
gonna
And
address.
there's
You're,
two
you're
ca-
going to watch the first one 28 years
Yeah.
later in 2025.
There's at
By
least
the
two
end of the
char-
first one, they will have reached the bone zone.
Yeah, the-
Then they're going to do the wide shot where you're behind the party and they're looking up at the bone zone, and then it's going to go thrilling conclusion in 2026. And you're
There's
going
I
to
don't know why.
happiest
at
Squid
least
Games
two
does.
characters are the same, so you know they're not going to die. In the,
Is
in
it
the first one.
what's his name? The one that Matt really likes, Aaron Taylor.
Aaron
Johnson.
Taylor Johnson and Gillian Murphy are in both movies, I think.
There you go, Matt. And Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes, he's good.
I know you've loved him since Savages.
Oh man, I've loved him since before then.
He's like that. Those abs, man. Those abs. They're awesome. Jurassic World Rebirth is Scarlett Johansson taking over as the lead of the Jurassic World franchise.
Let me tell. Can I guess? Is the plot about a bunch of a lab and a bunch of dinosaurs on an island that get loose on that island but don't go anywhere else?
No, they're not on the island anymore. As
Oh, they're
of
not. Okay.
as of the last Jurassic World, they're just out in the world.
I forgot about that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
guys. But
Yeah,
it'll
so-
still be the same story as the other ones.
Yes.
I'm
escape
guessing it's
dinosaurs.
Yes.
Dinosaurs killing people. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
liked
good
the
recipe.
first Jurassic Park. I've been kind of meh about every other Jurassic Park since. I haven't hated them, but they're kind of
If
Matt
say
Scarlett-
dinosaurs and humans. Got it.
Scarlett
Stone and
Johansson,
Trey
if she's
Parker.
naked in it, that'll be okay.
no,
Because
nope.
that happens often.
Is Rebirth like yes, it's moving forward from that world, but Pratt and Howard are not in it anymore. So I guess they got too expensive, and Scarlett Johansson was cheaper to get.
Well, and everybody
so now we're
hates
gonna get
Chris
Scarlett
Pratt,
Johansson going like this to Raptors instead of Chris Pratt.
Mm,
probably.
that's right.
Someone told me that Aaron Taylor Johnson was the kid in Spy Kids, and I had to Google it.
Oh, I didn't.
Was
know
he?
that.
I didn't think he was, but maybe. I know that Shark Boy from Shark Boy and Lava Girl was Taylor Lautner, and every time a girl was really enjoying Taylor Lautner at that time from Twilight, thinking he looked hot, I would just remember I would mention, "You like Shark Boy?" and they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "He was Shark Boy," and it would mess them up. It was
It's not
great.
listed in his filmography, but that doesn't mean he wasn't in it.
Yeah, he could have been an extra.
Yeah.
All right, Matt
He's
Stone and
not.
Trey Parker musical. I don't even know which one.
But
Is
the
that
Book
a
of
new
Mormon,
or-
it could be funny.
Well,
Is it?
it's,
I mean, it's
If it
the
is, that's the
creators
only
of
one I
South
know
Park.
of.
They
It's
did
new.
basketball.
It's about
They're
a
funny.
slave who's transported to the future. No, he transported to the past where he finds his white girlfriend's ancestors enslaved his family. That's the plot.
Is it really?
Yeah, well, according to the internet, it is.
Okay.
And it's a musical.
It'll
I
probably
mean-
be ridiculous. It's probably a lot like A Million Ways to Die in the West or one of those movies.
It could be. It's got to be a comedy, you would think.
I mean,
I'm sure.
I mean the songs from Team America are still hilarious. So
Yeah.
it's-
A young
The
black
bigger-
man who is interning as a slave reenactor at Living History Museum discovers that his white girlfriend's ancestors once owned his. Sorry, I thought there was a time travel in it. It isn't.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I mean,
Uh,
I would probably not go see it in the theater, but I'll probably see it when it becomes available.
Superman July 11th.
I think it's gonna suck.
I don't. It could go either way. I'm not. I'm going to keep our moratorium on even talking about it because they've only released.
I'm
that
letting
thing.
my Henry Cavill bias seep through, and I think it's gonna suck.
This is interesting. They're remaking it. I guess this is to speak to Slender about how the younger kids were really into the Scream remakes that they did.
Right.
They're trying to do it again now with I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Well, it's the perfect time because we're talking like all the kids who grew up with Five Nights at Freddy's, which for some reason really resonated with kids. So weirdly, yeah, they're finding all those teenage horror movies that we watched when we were teenagers, and they're loving that shit. So
Smurfs musical.
But half
There's
of what I
something
know
there.
what you did last summer, half of what made it great was Jennifer Love Hewitt's rack. They've got to get something that matches that.
well, they're not going to try and find somebody with a rack
So
in
you're trying to
2024. They're
say
going to
they're
try and
gonna-
somebody
So
who
it's
doesn't
gonna
have
fail.
them.
So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're saying, Bram, is they're going to have to re-rack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney or bust.
Sydney Sweeney and Bust would be.
Let's
Sydney Sweeney
see.
has bust.
The lead actress in this is Madeline Klein.
Are we
They
talking
are
about the
bringing back-
Smurfs movie now?
She Kevin Kline's
No.
daughter.
No, I am.
Is Kevin Kline capable of having a daughter?
She was on Stranger Things. She played somebody named Tina.
Oh boy.
The one from the first season?
Kline with a C. Oh, she's okay. She's all right.
She
She
works.
is def.
She-
No, she is not keeping up with Jennifer Love Hewitt's
She's not got the rack.
capabilities.
No.
Are we bringing up a picture or just everybody looking in the background?
Dude, I'm looking in the background. There are
She
certain
was
pictures
in-
where I'm like, she's okay.
Jennifer Love Hewitt is in the cast though.
All right.
It's like a double win.
Let me see if we
A
can.
double D win.
Why can't IMDb ever just put? There you go.
That's
She's all right.
unimpressive.
Brahma has
She's
a
not bad
specific
looking,
set of
she's just
criteria.
unimpressive.
Brahma's like, I have a certain
She
criteria.
looks more
for-
like the Yasmin Bleeth character from it than the Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yasmin
not
Bleeth
Better name,
wasn't in.
Yasmin Bleeth.
No,
She's
Sarah,
not the one. She's not
it
the one on
was,
the right hand side. Then
It was Buffy, the
She's not the
vampire
one on the
slayer,
right.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay, so maybe it was the next one. No, that was Urban Legends. That had
Yeah.
the other chick, right?
Unless you're thinking of a Scary Movie when they were doing the segments where they were making fun of I Know What You Did Last Summer with Shannon Elizabeth.
No, I'm thinking of Urban Legend, I think.
Yeah. Oh, has resting image. Yes, I do believe that is correct.
See, even copied kitties unimpressed. Meh.
There's not a lot going on.
No.
If there's one thing,
Yeah, but that's what the kids like these days. Like I'm telling you, we're not the target demographic for those stupid teenage horror movies.
teenage horror movies require boobs.
Not,
Yeah.
not
It's a
today.
tale
They
as-
don't.
It's a
Not
tale as
today.
old.
They don't.
Maybe we need to teach the younger generation that androgynous is not a good thing. You need some tits.
Good
It's
luck.
a tale as old as time, Slender.
Good luck.
A song as old as rhyme.
You're never gonna get that message.
Well,
to
if they're
fly with
liking
them.
Scream that much, then I mean, Rose McGowan's got a couple.
No, they weren't. No, they're not watching the
on.
original Screams. They're watching the remakes.
And
Yeah,
they're
they're
not
watching
going
all
back
these
and
new
watching
ones.
any of the others.
Like
With
Brahma,
Jen-
I
no,
can
they're
watch
wa-
the others too.
Brahma,
but-
nobody ever went to see B movie horror teen movies to see tits. Oh, wait a minute, they did, didn't they? Oh, yeah.
That was about
No.
the only reason anybody went to see him.
Jenna Ortega is the lead of the new
God,
Scream.
you guys are so fucking
franchise.
old. You're so old.
All right.
Your age.
That just means I've seen more tits than you.
Fantastic Four, end of July, which they haven't. I'm all right. So just I'm
Even
expecting.
Jaffo gets it. This is how fucking dumb you guys are.
But that's why none of
They
these
don't
movies-
care
That's why
about
they
that.
need to be taught. We're the generations that are supposed to be teaching them.
They pretend they don't care
Um,
or they don't need them.
all right. So I think Fantastic Four. We're gonna get our first look at that probably at the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna reserve any kind of assessment on if it's good, bad, or indifferent until I actually see footage from.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a bad movie, but I'll
I
see it
think-
because if there's a chance of Vanessa Kirby being in a skin tight suit, I'm there.
You
It
know
doesn't
that you're
have
gonna
Jim
have to.
Halpert. I don't want to watch it.
You're gonna have to go see it. It's your homework assignment for the 18 shows a week you're on.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, they're gonna
But-
make you watch it.
The upside is Vanessa Kirby in 2 movies so far, Fantastic Four and Mission
Mission
Impossible.
Impossible. Bad Guys 2 is another kids franchise, so that'll animated. Naked Gun reboot.
No,
Who the
hold on,
hell is-
time out, Jaffo. I was saying they were stupid. I was saying you were right.
I thought maybe he was talking about me saying I think they secretly do like boobs, but
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean it as an insult to Jeff.
Well, if Jaffo said "fuck you," that's fine. If he said "fuck me," I was on his team. I'm on Team Jaffo
I
for
wasn't
this.
meaning it as an insult to him. I just think they probably do like
Where-
boobs. They're just afraid to say so.
It's
Am I
highly
not
possible.
a mod? Because I'm not seeing Jaffo's chats in the actual chat.
That one, yeah, it's not coming
You're-
up in the actual chat. Yeah.
You're probably not a mod.
I was pretty sure I was made a mod on this channel, but okay.
We're seeing it behind the scenes.
Is nobody
but
uncovering chats then? Do you have no mods uncovering chats?
I'm not a mod, so
Oh, I just don't see it. Yeah, I don't have the option to uncover the chat.
it
I
must
see
be 'cause
message
of the-
retracted. Somebody might have retracted it.
I see Mad has a wrench, but he's busy. I mean, I've seen other chats from Jaffo. I'm just not seeing.
Yeah,
that
other
one or
ones
a
are. It
couple
might be
others.
Is there a swear filter on? I didn't think so. Yeah, it's a
I would hope
I
so.
don't-
security filter.
I haven't turned any of that stuff
Oh.
on.
I don't know. No big deal. Just
I see it in the regular chat. Do you have all messages instead of the
oh,
live
maybe I'm
chat
on top
instead of top chat?
live.
Yeah. If you do live chat, it's there.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes,
it's
live
the
chat.
live
is
chat
there.
problem.
Yeah.
Ah, that's better.
Oh, Bad Take's in there trying to uncover things. So okay. You may
All right.
continue.
All right.
Proceed.
Naked. Who the hell is doing a Naked Gun reboot in
Unnecessary
2025?
reboot, not required.
Yeah, that's
That's
pointless.
going to be awful.
Liam
Is it-
Neeson,
Who is he in it? Is it? Oh, it's
Liam
Liam
Neeson.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
which is
All
fine,
right.
but
He can
He
be
just-
funny. Liam Neeson actually can.
I
Just,
don't think it's
Yeah, but they're
required.
not going to be able to do Naked Gun jokes.
No.
Like it's going to be a different. It's going to be the Naked Gun in name only.
Yeah, and it's none of the original production or writing people. or
Cody
directors.
Rhodes is in it. That's going to be interesting.
Hamlet Anderson.
That's
is in it.
weird.
It will be the Veil Guard of the Naked Gun franchise.
Akiva Schaffer directing. Who the hell is Akiva Schaffer? Oh, he's one of the Lonely Island guys. All right.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah,
Their
You don't remember
songs are
this
funny,
Saturday-
but their skits aren't.
Saturday Night Live. He was did the
Uh,
songs like
Brooklyn Nine-Nine was kind of funny, wasn't he in that?
I think he was one of the writers for that too.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
'Cause,
but it's just not necessary. It's just not necessary.
I mean,
At all.
I might watch it if it becomes available to me for
Did
minimal
he
effort.
help? He helped write Everything Is Awesome from the Lego
The
movie.
Lego movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing was an earworm, but it
Mm,
I don't know. It's not
I
like it
don't-
made the Lego movie better. The Lego movie was already pretty great.
looks like
It's
all.
just-
Yeah, it did.
yeah. It's not worth. It's pointless. It's not required.
I'm with 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the reason to even do it anyway. Beneath the Storm, don't know. Untitled Paul Thomas Anderson event movie. He doesn't do event movies. Paul Thomas
Well, he
Anderson.
does now.
He does now.
He's got an untitled one.
Paul Thomas Anderson is like Magnolia. He did Boogie Nights. He's what is it? The I Drink Your Milkshake. What was the name of the movie? There Will Be Blood. He does. He did Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler. He does really serious, like Oscar-y
Psychological stuff. Yeah.
cinema type movies. So I wouldn't characterize it as an event thing.
Bye,
Oh,
man.
looks like Mad Irish goodbye to us dipped out.
Mad
Okay,
Irish goodbye to us. What a
Okay,
dick.
the movie that's listed on his resume for 2025 is called The Battle of Bactan Cross. And
Didn't even say nothing. Showed up an hour late and then dipped 20 minutes early.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
The Battle of Bactan Cross doesn't say anything about what it's about, but it stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
potentially squared.
And
Paul
he's got-
Thomas Anderson, I mean, he does nothing but pretentious.
the
movies.
thing is, they've given him $140 million to make it, and he's only ever made $115 million at the top end of any of his movies. So
I'm with Eric Myers. I'm not big on the Oscar bait. I like fun movies.
The only movie he did that was actually kind of fun, and it's using the term fun loosely, is probably Boogie Nights.
All right, moving on.
There was-
Freakier
I mean-
Friday.
well, Heather Graham was all right in it.
Yeah. Freakier Friday, bringing back Lindsay Lohan and what's her name? Why am I blanking on her name?
Old lady from True Lies. Likes
Yeah,
to do yogurt.
Jamie Lee
commercials now.
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yep, Jamie Lee Curtis is back, and then our favorite guy from The Acolyte is in there playing Lindsay Lohan's husband, Manny.
So
Moving on.
apparently,
Manny Jacinto.
so
Manny
this,
Jacinto.
this Paul Thomas Anderson movie is apparently based on a novel called Inherent Vice by Thomas Pynchon, and it's a kind of a counterculture detective thing. So,
You really want to learn more about this movie nobody cares about.
well, I'm just
Yes,
curious.
PTA
Just
did
curious.
do Licorice Pizza. So
I was
Lindsay
curious.
Lohan has almost turned herself around to looking somewhat normal again.
got to correct Jaffo. That wasn't Lindsay. That wasn't Heather Graham. That was Amy Smart.
Amy Smart.
Because I'm an Amy Smart fan. I
Me
think
too.
she should have got more work. She's actually pretty funny.
Look who's
pretty
at my stall, Jonathan Moxon.
Moxon. Yep. I appreciated how she put Mox in his place. Did she use the whipped cream bikini on you?
Allie Lowe.
God, you guys are all as thirsty as culture usually is tonight.
Amy Smart. I mean, I've liked her since like 1998 when that movie came out. So I'm
Yes, and
okay.
every time we talk movies, you and Brahma, it's all thirsty. Thirsty.
I think it's well established that I like boobs.
Yeah, we know
Well,
that.
Amy Smart isn't the one bringing a lot.
I'm
to that
not the
table,
one
anyway.
drooling all over Amy Smart. You are. I'm just talking about boobs in general.
Well,
Sorry, I got the wrong Thomas Pynchon.
we got
novel.
like
It's-
17 minutes.
I got
We
the
got to
wrong.
get through 3 more months of movies.
I got the
Yeah.
wrong Pynchon movie. It's based on a book called Vineland, and it's an anti-Nixon film.
Oh my God, are you
He's-
still on the
he's only
Untitled
60
project?
Years, it's only 60 years too late. But
actually, out of August, Nobody 2 would be the one that I would be most interested. Nobody. Did you watch that one? The action movie. It's pretty good. I like.
Oh
it.
yeah, I did watch it. The Odenkirk movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
where he's like the
Yeah.
unassuming guy, and then you find out no, it was a mistake to get this guy. So
I would like
nobody
that one.
to.
And I've liked every
Um,
one of the Insidious movies for the most part, so I'm looking forward to the Insidious. movie as
Insidious,
well.
man, Insidious. They just bother me. They fundamentally, because that was the one with who was Ethan Hawke, right? Is Insidious or no? Insidious. Never mind.
Insidious is another one that has Patrick Wilson in it.
Okay,
It's the
so
one with
which was
old
the
lady and the ghost hunters, and they
All right,
keep
yeah,
going
yeah.
into the dark space and stuff.
Okay, so that one's not as bad. What was the one with Ethan Hawke? Because that was the one that
is it's not the
in
Conjuring,
Nefarious.
it's a-
Is that it?
No, Nefarious was the
Uh,
religious movie last year. I know which one you're talking about.
Because that one freaked me out, man. When it was
Where they
where he
find
was
like
watching
the 35
Yep,
millimeter.
Sinister. It was
Sinister.
Sinister. That shit is. I don't like it because
That one's
it's
weird.
it's got the demon possession element, which is already in terms of the horror movies that can actually get under my skin and bother me, demon possession shit is kind of that wheelhouse. And this one, the concept was that this demon got the kids to murder their families, and then
in
the
each of the
kids
different movies. Sinister. I think there's
Ooh.
3 of them.
didn't like it because not that I mean it did its job. It disturbed me. So
Those are the
Isn't
ones
that a
tend
Village of the
to-
Damned thing?
Those are the ones that tend to actually not scare me, but also give me the creeps.
well, that's the thing. I just don't like it because part of me.
Soul Bride would agree with you. She
If
she
you-
hates those.
If you genuinely believe, right, part of that is understanding there's the counter, and so I don't like demon stuff sometimes because it's like, yeah, demon shit's real. Anyway, don't do it. Don't want to mess with it.
Which brings us to our
Don't-
next movie, The Conjuring, which I am also looking forward to because I've liked the Conjuring series.
Yeah, I ain't gonna watch that shit. Too spooky.
And I'm
Oh,
also a
Downton
fan of
Abbey
Vera
3.
Farming or Farmigan, whatever her name is.
Like
Vera Farmiga.
I'm never
Sure.
all that scared of things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but like The Ring, man, after I watched The Ring, I took the TV out of my bedroom for like a year. I was like, nope, no TV in this room.
Yeah,
I can't sleep
Japanese and
with that thing over there.
Japanese and Asian horror movies can mess you up, man.
Oh,
So
they're the
that's-
worst.
Did you ever watch The Audition?
No.
That one was messed up.
I've seen Ju-on, I've seen The Ring, I've seen The Grudge. I know I've seen others. There's some
Venus
anime
in
horror that's
7
pretty
days
bad,
you're gonna
too.
get a phone call, Slender.
No, you
7
get the
days.
phone call
Oh,
that
and
lets you
then
know that
7
you have 7 days.
7 days. That's true. Let's see.
Your phone
They're
rings
ma-
right after you watch the
Downton
video.
Abbey 3. Also,
Downton Abbey 3, that'll make money.
I watched the
Women-
whole series and I've watched both movies. I've got no problem with Downton Abbey.
The only downside is it's gonna be what's her name is this is the first time McGonagall isn't in it.
Yeah,
So all
She
right.
pretty much-
They're making
But-
another
Maggie Smith.
Saw movie.
Maggie
Fuck's
Smith.
sake.
Maggie Smith, yeah.
Saw 11.
they'll continue making Saw movies every October as long as they possibly can. The
Dude,
last
they're
one
like
was horrible.
they're like Spirit Halloweens at this point. They just pop up every fucking year.
Oh, Slender, you're gonna have to take Bride of Slender to this one just because the name of the movie is The Bride. So
I have to figure out what it is first because
uh,
a great example of that, right? Was we watched what was the one where at the end the girl is possessed and she kills her boyfriend?
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. I remember watching that and I was like, I'm sleeping on the couch
The
tonight.
Bride's about Frankenstein's Bride, apparently. It's written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. And stars Christian Bale and Penelope Cruz and Peter Sarsgaard. So
Peter Skarsgård is probably
Skarsgård.
playing Frankenstein's monster because that's what he does now.
he's
He
not
plays.
Christian Bale is.
So that would be peak
Oh.
cinema right there. You want the best schlock ever made? Saw Fast and Furious.
And someone I've never heard of called Jesse Buckley is playing Frankenstein's Bride.
Oh, interesting.
And Jake Gyllenhaal's in it too.
I have no idea what Gabby's Dollhouse the movie is. I'm guessing that's a
Don't
kid's
care.
It's
thing.
like a kids movie.
Michael, don't know. I mean,
Air.
is that a remake of the John Travolta movie? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, him as an
Um,
archangel.
Roofman, I don't know. Tron
know.
Ares coming out in October. That seems like a weird spot.
I get the distinct impression that it'll suck.
Will
I think
Olivia
so,
Wilde
too.
be in it?
No, it is Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. So
Will
it'll
the
suck.
dude
If
be
it's
in
Jared
it?
Leto, I'm out.
Jeff Bridges has got a small part in it, apparently.
Oh well.
I
Well, I
don't
might
know.
just,
Animal
I might
Man.
see it when it becomes easily available. I might see it just for Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Black Phone
Black
2.
Phone was actually a pretty good horror movie last year. I mean, it's kind of a horror movie, more of a supernatural thriller type movie, but I enjoyed it. That one also has Ethan Hawke, I think.
Davina, I also did not like Tron Legacy that much, but I wanted to. I wanted to so bad.
Buckley was the lady of the night with the red hair and Tom Hardy's Taboo.
Taboo was a great show, and I always wished they'd made a second season, but they never did.
Didn't he get with his sister in that show?
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, I don't recall that, but
All right.
did he?
Hello, friends. Good fortune.
All right.
So Mortal
do we-
Kombat 2 is chronologically which Mortal Kombat movie is this? The fourth?
this is the
They rebooted
sequel
it.
to the reboot that came out during the pandemic.
Yeah, the
where
one that
they
had-
sucked.
They
Yeah.
had the guy that basically just got metal. He basically became Colossus.
Look at
Wasn't
Eric.
a playable
Hence the
character
name
ever.
Taboo, Chad.
I mean, I know there was a widow of his father or something in it, or
It's nothing the Bidens haven't done.
maybe it was a stepmother.
Regretting you. Predator Badlands. Is that another Predator movie?
That's
Yes.
another
Gee,
Prey
I-
movie.
With a name like that, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It's the sequel to Prey.
Are you fucking I hated Prey.
I didn't mind Prey, just it wasn't anything. There were problems with it.
Dude, tying
There-
a hatchet to the end of the string. Ugh.
So it was
Oh,
his
yeah, there you
half,
go.
it was half sister.
Hated
That's
everything
still
about it.
his sister.
Which half of her did he get off?
That's
The-
still half the DNA.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Yep, that's still enough to make a Targaryen out of you.
what was the line? Remember in Not Another Teen Movie, he was like, "You're my sister," and she's like, "We're only related by blood."
No, that wasn't that
Mhm.
fuck is the movie?
It's Una
Joe
Chaplin
Dirt.
was the
That's
actress.
Joe
Una-
Dirt.
Una Chaplin.
No, that
She's
one
not
was,
even good looking.
that one was Not Another Teen Movie because it was
No, they did the joke in Joe Dirt where he's like he couldn't get off unless she said she was his sister after they find out they weren't sisters.
yeah, Mia Kushner. She was super hot.
Was that the chick from Friday Night Lights?
No, she was in 24.
Cheerleader.
She was in Not Another Teen Movie. I don't. Was she in Friday Night Lights? I don't remember.
The
didn't think
TV
so.
series, not the.
Okay.
Am I thinking of the wrong
Running
chick?
Man remake, Bugonia. Now they're doing a third Now You See Me.
The
I-
Running Man movie might be interesting. That's Glenn Powell coming in. I think it's supposed to be more like
I'm hoping
the,
they actually follow the book, and
the book,
then I
yeah.
won't have a problem with it being a new movie because the first movie, as great as it is, it has nothing to do with the book.
So Friday Night Lights was
think
Adrian
it's-
Polacki.
All right, Minka Kelly was in that.
Minka Kelly
She
is
was
who I'm
hot.
thinking of.
She was cute. Yeah, Minka Kelly.
Let's see. She was
Now
the
You See Me
chick in
3.
Crow 2, Brahma.
Okay.
The first Now You See Me was
I'm
good.
willing to bet Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will do numbers.
Now You See Me is like what is the, like we talked about when Slender, when we would show the chart of like Dragon Age's like concurrent player count. Now You See Me is that same downward trend line. The first one was good and kind of different. The second one got really lame. And
Yeah.
I
I was
don't
like,
care.
you're
I-
really
Some
I like
behind
those
the
stretching
scenes
it.
lore for the chat here. Since the day Veilguard released, Chad has pretty much every couple of days gotten a screen cap of the Steam database charts for that game's players continuous players, 24-hour peak, all that crap. And it is the perfect encapsulation of a downward trend.
If
Is
you
it-
work
is
in
I just-
finance,
Just
it's
pull
like
it
the
down
I
to a
just,
few
I
hundred.
just pull it up.
ultimate
I
one,
pull it
yeah.
up every couple of days, and I've been cataloging the downfall of that game since it went live because I fucking hate it.
Either way, I will see Now You See Me 3 in the theater on day one without it even being homework because I've enjoyed the hell out of the first two.
They were pretty
I think
good,
they're
I
fun
thought.
movies.
I thought they were pretty good, yeah. Shame about Mark Ruffalo being in them, but can't have everything.
Yeah, that's a problem.
They're doing a
Wicked for
Zootopia
Good
2?
is the sequel to Wicked, so that'll do numbers.
Stop calling it a sequel. It's part 2.
Yeah.
It is the continuation. All right.
It is part 2.
Zootopia 2 will probably do big numbers. Zootopia was really well received. People like it. I know my son liked it. So if it seems like Disney is getting into the phase now where it's green light the sequel, make it as bland and generic as you can so that everybody who liked it by name recognition will just come and buy tickets. Cut that trans shit out.
Yeah, make it
Which
what
they-
it used to be, straight to video.
Yeah. And they'll make money. Zootopia 2 is probably going to do like 700-800 million worldwide.
So
Fairly
I've tooled around with the idea of doing some video essays on things like that. I've never done it, so I don't know how
Oh,
good
don't
or
worry
bad
about
it'll
doing a
be, but I'm
video
gonna try
essay.
it.
Just get a song that is like making fun of it and just show screenshots of it going down. Just do like a 3 or 4 minute video to a song.
Yeah, but that'll be part of the video essay, right? Like I've got a lot of things to say about that game. I would love to do a post-mortem on it.
Oh, I just saw here's that Predator movie is going to get worse. Look at this. I didn't realize the female lead who's facing off the Predator is Elle Fanning, who definitely looks like she's
They just keep
capable.
getting stronger and stronger looking. She could definitely take a Predator.
That's getting ridiculous.
No, the girl in Prey was getting ridiculous.
This is getting absurd.
This is just more of the same.
This is absurd.
Which one's the Predator?
That's true.
I mean, she's got a stronger jaw than the Predator,
yeah.
that's for sure.
Zootopia 2. All right, so
I've hated. I don't like.
They
Avatar
just-
at
they
all.
make
I
so
don't
much money.
understand it. I don't know why people loved the first one.
Hated the
It was
first
the
one.
worst story
Hated it.
ever.
Garbage. Yeah. Plot wise,
Like, yeah, okay, it's got really cool CG and it's visually spectacular. Has anyone ever listened to the dialogue
It's cringe inducing.
or focused
garbage.
on the story that the stories are fucking terrible?
Dances with Smurfs. Yeah.
Davina,
Good
don't ever see it. You're not missing anything. It's garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think it does. It does ridiculous amounts of business in Asia. I don't know if it's easier to translate because it's just a cinematically visual experience or what, but it makes
And the first
Giant
one,
money.
the one you haven't seen, the first one, Davina, is basically it is an allegory for white colonization of
Yeah,
the New
so-
World.
The Marines are the bad guys, etc.
Yep.
etc.
Yep, those fucking bloodthirsty Marines that just want to kill all the blue people.
Soul Assassin. Watch Fern Gully. It's the same story. This is true. The Fern Gully and the first Avatar
Fern Gully is
are
better.
are basically the same story, or even Pocahontas. Yeah, the Disney Pocahontas. You get in there. Oh,
They're
I
terrible
don't-
movies.
Marty Supreme.
It's about a ping pong.
Ping
player.
pong player Marty Rice. With Timothy Chalamet. At least he's taking risks. I guess good for him.
They had to
Don't
glue
care.
that mustache onto him because there's no
All
way
right.
he could grow it.
Here's the one that Brahma will be going to: Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried in the same movie.
I care nothing for Amanda Seyfried.
Is that the guy who directed Ghostbusters 2016?
Yes, Paul Feig.
Then I don't want to watch this.
He also did A Simple Plan, which wasn't bad.
That was a good movie.
I don't care.
How do you not
He
like
showed me
Amanda
who he
Seyfried?
is. I don't ever need to
She
watch
was-
anything he makes ever again.
Sydney Sweeney before Sydney Sweeney was Sydney Sweeney.
Don't care for her at all. Also,
She's-
watched her grow up in film. Not for me.
I mean, she was. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. What? Because she was in Mean Girls.
No, long before that.
She was
in
a-
things when she was a child actress.
Was she?
Wasn't she?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I feel like the first time I remember ever seeing her was in Mean Girls, and by then, I mean the girls in Mean Girls, like Rachel McAdams, they were in their upper 20s when they were starring in it. So she was in.
No, I'd be looking forward
Big
to the
Love.
Sydney Sweeney / Anna de Armas movie that is in planning.
Simple Plan was Sam Raimi, according to people in the. Anyway, am I thinking the same movie?
Oh, A Simple Favor.
Oh,
Maybe
I thought
that's
a
what it was,
Simple
A
Plan.
Simple
I was
Favor.
thinking of, yeah.
Simple Favor. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
like he could never direct a Simple Plan.
I'm looking because I don't
Far
think I
too many
remember.
men in it for one
No,
thing.
Soul Assassin could be red. I could be thinking of Dakota Fanning because they look the same to me.
Yeah, Dakota Fanning was the one who was a child actress.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, it's still looking at Dakota Fanning.
They don't look at anything
Doesn't do
alike.
anything for me.
Still, it's nice to see three women in one picture next to each other.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
It's very
I just-
progressive.
it's just weird because Amanda Seyfried is like everything you want in an actress. She's two
Not-
things that you
not
really
everything.
like, and blonde. So
She's got a face like a well-scalped earth, though, as we'd say.
Why are we
Also
still
to
talking about
Sydney
this?
Sweeney, technically.
well, this is the last movie of the year,
Oh, good.
effectively.
Good.
Released December 25th, 2025.
Jeff O says that he's a fan.
Yeah. She wasn't a teen in Big Love. She was playing a teen, but she was not actually a teenager. She was born in 1985, so when she was in Big Love, which started in when did Big Love start? I'm trying to like
I don't even know what it is.
No.
Big Love started in 2006, so she was 21 when she was first in that. Which young, but perfectly legal to drink, so it's fine. So she was also what is because Mean Girls was also I think that same year. So or no, that was a couple years early. So she was re-upping Chloe, Amanda Seyfried, Julianne Moore. Oh yeah, that was one where they were friendly with each other. So she also played Linda Lovelace in the Linda Lovelace biopic. So she was comfortable.
That's a bit of deep trivia right there.
Oh boy. I think in order to save Lil Chad from his ramblings, I'm going to ask if anyone has anything to promote before I hit the end stream button.
I'm just going over the filmography. I had IMDb open.
Don't watch The Housemaid. That looks like it's garbage. If you want to go look at a really good movie of a superficially similar, watch a Korean movie called The Handmaiden, especially if you're into hot girl action. But anyway.
Look at Copy
Bourbon.
Kitty. Like before we get cut off, good night all. Slender, get more rest and feel better soon.
We have
Bourbon
an
and
outro
boarding.
now.
Yeah.
We do have an outro.
So
It,
Bourbon
it
and Boarding
kicks in
tomorrow,
automatically.
Bullpen
Bourbon
on
Boarding.
Sunday, which you got a preview of Sunday. So Slender.
Indeed.
More Ascendant Arcade whenever I have the energy to go through my stuff and edit it.
Squirrel's not
think
going to
good.
put itself on YouTube.
Nope. but there is probably going to be 3 more parts to that. But you kind of get to see a lot of the normal stuff in the first part. So these 3 other parts will be edited down a lot more for speed, so that they're not boring. I'm falling asleep. I'm gonna hit the
You
end
sound like
button.
you got mono or
Do it.
Shifty
Did-
wants music
did
trivia
we-
back.
Machiavelli Production.
The streams hit the hay, but don't be dismayed. The screen's fading away, but we'll soon invade. Lil Chat, Slender Dad, they've ruled the night. Rummables, bourbon buzz, his laughter's light.
Ascending art, we've sailed this spree with brainwaves and belly laughs, pure glee. You brought your fun, now off you go, but keep the party in your soul, yo. Dreams in the rear view, but don't be glum. We'll be back with more gags with new young. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibes alive. For the next epic stream, we'll surely jive. Keep the laughs, keep the chat, keep the screens delight. Until our next stream, keep the fun in sight. This is Ascendant Art, signing off with a grin. Catch you on the flip side, let the good times spin. Oops, forgot about Imp. He'll be back, probably.
Forgot about